On today's Part of My Take, we have our good friend George Kittle from his compound. He's got a compound in Nashville, whole gym. We went and visited him. We did a great interview with him, talked about everything, and then we did a Mount Rushmore with him. George is taking Jake's place for just this Mount Rushmore, teaming up with Billy. We did the Mount Rushmore of famous football plays. We're going to talk NBA draft. We're going to talk Chris Paul to the Warriors, Marcus Smart to the Grizzlies. We've got Jared, the Subway guy, Doc review, and Fyre Fest of the week. So great Friday show going for everyone sending into the summer weekend, and it is brought to you by Chevy. This episode of Pardon My Take is brought to you by our favorite trucks, the best trucks, our most valuable trucks, the family of Chevy Silverado, the Silverado 1500, the Silverado HD, and the first ever Silverado EV. We're truck guys, really Chevy truck guys, and this takeover of Tight End University is perfect for the grit and tech that Silverado is all about. We've seen firsthand how strong and gritty these trucks are, and especially the most recent time we've had with the first ever Chevy Silverado EV. PFT, you went across the country in a Chevy Silverado. You loved every second of it. Fact or fiction?
That's an absolute fact. The thing is a beast. It's a monster. It is a cool truck. It's so comfortable on the inside. There are 4 of us on the inside all the way across the country, kind of like a submarine, except way, way more room, and we got there safe and sound.
Yes, and so the Chevy Silverado taking over the entire episode. It's the perfect marriage. We were in Nashville. We were with tight ends. Tight ends are the trucks of the NFL. They're hardworking, gritty, tough, can go fast as well, just like the Silverado. So check out the family of Chevy Silverado, Silverado 1500, Silverado HD, and the first ever Silverado EV. Head to Chevy.com to learn more today. That's Chevy.com to learn more today. And tell them PMT sent you. If you are listening to this show, you should be a Chevy guy. Chevy makes the best trucks out there. So thank you to our wonderful sponsor, Chevy. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take. Today is Friday, June 23rd, and PFT, welcome to Wembantonio.
That was great, wasn't it? Marty Smith got dressed up like a kid getting dressed up like Kid Rock for Halloween. And it was actually more Joe Dirt. It was like Kid Rock as a child getting dressed up like Joe Dirt for Halloween. Shaved Wembantonio's face into the back of his head. And just went out there and delivered a speech for the ages at half court in San Antonio.
Marty Smith seems like the nicest guy in the world. And I don't think this is a knock on him because I think he just gets sent out by ESPN to do these type of things where they're like, hey, we're going to do a funny hit from anywhere in the South. Send Marty Smith. I hate the word cringe, but that moment when he turned and he held it for extra long and was like, check it out. See, it's Wembanyama in the back of my head. Wembantonio. It took my breath away. So it was something. It was quite something.
Actually rent free, like literally living rent free in the back of Marty Smith's head. I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Wright had LeBron just constantly stenciled, probably tattooed onto the back of his head.
Yes. He's got, I saw there's these new tattoos, which we got to check out, PFT. Maybe we do that for the Commanders Bears bet. Someone hit me up. There's new tattoos that last for 3 years. Maybe Nick Wright just does LeBron in his like different jersey, knowing that he won't be there for more than 3 years, so he doesn't have to worry about it. They need to make one for 4 days for Chris Paul. For Chris Paul,
I was on my way to the tattoo parlor today because I'm going to get a tattoo plaid half sleeve, and I was going to add Chris Paul on there as well. Right before I ran my marathon, and then fortunately I turned Woj notifications on. So what an era in DC sports, huh? The Chris Paul era. I'd say if the Wizards win a ring, he should get one. Chris Paul should get a championship ring.
You did that. You went to the tattoo parlor in the tandem bike that we're going to ride around Manhattan as well, right?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a whimsical journey.
It's light when it's only one of you.
Well, it's rained every Friday in New York since we made that arrangement back in 2020. It's been wild.
It's going to rain tomorrow. So yeah, NBA draft tonight. The big takeaways are there's a lot of guys that play in the G League and like overtime elite that I never watched play college ball. And so when their names pop up, I'm like, wait, did I see? Oh no, he played in, for the Juice or the Elite or some other team. Gradey Dick's whole outfit, I actually am a big fan of, because if your name's Gradey Dick, you have to find a way to make your outfit so loud that people will point to the outfit before they point to your last name. So I thought that was actually a very heady play by him.
Yeah, no, if you're Dick, you have to look as much like a vagina as possible. That way people forget what your actual last name is. It was a great suit. I liked it a lot. It was it gave off like David Bowie vibes if David Bowie was the singer of the Talking Heads.
Yes.
And it was a good look. Gradey Dick, I didn't realize how strong his TikTok game was. I did a little perusing of old Gradey.
Oh,
he's
yeah?
a big dancer. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a big dancer. He got like the whole team involved in his TikTok last year. There should be – I was going to say there should be a baby Gronk version of him, but then that would be Baby Dick.
Oh, we already have him. He makes one-handed catches all the time in Buffalo. He looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, Baby Diggs, not Baby Dick.
Yes. So NBA draft, should we go? Let's go around and everyone say their favorite draft pick. I think that's the best way to do it.
Okay.
Because look, the NBA draft, they try to make it a big deal, kind of like the NFL draft. There's a pretty big difference. Not as many people watch college basketball as college football, and also a lot of the guys in the NBA draft only play 1 year in college basketball, whereas in the NFL draft, it feels like you've been watching these guys for years and years and years. It's still fun. It's still like it is. There are these heartwarming moments. The fact that there were twins back to back was fucking awesome. And everyone's like watching these guys realize their dream is very cool. And my biggest takeaway, excuse me, my biggest takeaway was Michigan didn't make the tournament. Mm-hmm. And they had two I think lottery picks. And it wasn't 2 lottery picks, but two first rounders, and also had All-American center. They didn't make the tournament. Those are always the interesting times when it's like you see a loaded team get picked, and you're like, wait, they weren't in the tournament? That's weird.
Yeah, Juwan Howard's the new Coach Cal. That is what made me feel really, really old. Was Juwan Howard has a son that just got drafted in the NBA.
Yes.
At that point, it's like, okay, I'm officially washed. Officially. Until this very moment, I thought that there was a chance I could play in the NBA at some point. And then when you see the son of a guy that you remember getting drafted also getting drafted, that's tough.
It wasn't even the fact that he got drafted. That was like a moment like, oh shit, because obviously I knew he was on the team last year at Michigan. It was when they told the anecdote that he used to play like hoops when Juwan was on the Heat. That was Juwan Howard's last stop.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even, it was like, yeah, he really came into it, like he really got to be around a bunch of pros in 2010. Mm-hmm. That hurt.
Juwan Howard is an all-time bag getter in the NBA. If you look at his contract that he got, Jesus, that dude's agent is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
He got like $150 million guaranteed when dudes were not getting over $100 million guaranteed.
Yeah, he made $150 million in his entire NBA career. All right, should we do best picks, favorite picks?
I like Wembantonio, Big Cat.
Okay, nice.
I give that grade. I give that an A.
Okay, A, not an A plus.
No, I give that an A. I give Gradey Dick to Toronto an A, but it's EH.
Okay. I'll go with my best pick. Jaime Jaquez to the Heat, like perfect Heat culture. He's going to have a series probably next NBA playoffs where, he somehow averages like 25 points a game out of nowhere. And maybe it's a little bit of a distortion where, remember when the Spurs had their run and every time they drafted anyone, you're like, oh, perfect Spur.
Yep.
So it could be just a cult, but obviously watching him forever at UCLA, he is the perfect Heat culture guy, and he'll be a very good player in the NBA because he got drafted by the Heat.
It's like when the Ravens draft anybody on defense in the first round. It's like, oh, shit, we all forgot about that guy. Yeah, that guy is definitely going to be a fit in Miami. I think Brandon Miller is kind of a genius because they interviewed him the other day, and he said that his GOAT, his favorite player in NBA history is Paul George. That to me tells me he's thinking 2 steps ahead because he knew that Charlotte wanted to draft him. They asked him who your favorite player in NBA history is. That tells me his favorite player is LeBron, and he knew that he could not say that it was LeBron James because Michael Jordan is still very much involved in the draft process for Charlotte, even though he sold the team.
Yeah, which makes no sense.
Yeah, he was still like the one making decisions, which, makes 0 sense whatsoever. But Brandon Miller knew that he couldn't say my favorite player is LeBron because then Jordan would be like, fuck you, I'm not drafting you, just out of spite.
See, I thought it was a similar situation to the Gradey Dick suit where he says Paul George, and then every interview he does after that, they don't talk about what happened at Alabama. They're like, hey, because, this is how the internet works. Everyone wants to get the viral clip. They're like, hey, do you really think it's Paul George? So he basically just shifted the entire narrative where he's the Paul George is the GOAT guy instead of everything that happened in Alabama.
Yeah, no, it's a twofer. I think it was a genius move on his part. Everybody was like, this guy's insane. No, he's so sane that you are the ones that are insane for not realizing that. That was a great move on his part.
If you guys were a front office, though, in the Hornets and you're an analytics nerd, imagine getting in an argument with Michael Jordan and being like, we should take this person. And he's like, that's I'm Michael Jordan. And I'm Michael Jordan.
That is why the Hornets have not been very good, I would say.
Right, but what are you supposed to do?
No, you can't do anything. You can't do anything.
How many times has an equation won 6 NBA titles?
Exactly.
Never.
Well, I guess it was triangle offense.
Yeah. All right. Hank, what's your favorite pick?
My favorite pick, it was going to be Brandon Miller. I'll go with Scoot Henderson. I just liked, I like the outrage that came with that pick. I feel like part of it is just, it wouldn't have mattered who the Hornets took. Their fans were going to be mad.
Yeah.
And I like having I like having the debate and the freak out videos, like, Jalen Hurts got drafted, Kristaps Porzingis, like there was all these epic freak out videos, and then when they're good, people are like, oh yeah, you look like an idiot. And I like the turmoil that came with it.
Right there.
Yeah.
Just curious. Different sport. Why'd you throw in Jalen Hurts?
Well, I was just thinking of the Nadu video.
Yeah.
Of him freaking
Daniel
out.
Jones.
Yeah.
People freaking out and then having to be good. I also like Scoot Henderson. Every draft analyst has been like, so yeah, maybe he's not great at shooting, but he's got that dog. They all have to like say that like subtly, like he's not a great shooter, but he's a competitor and he's gonna win. And his name's Scoot.
You can get better at shooting. You can't change your name to Scoot after you get drafted.
That's true. Well,
what they say on draft night is what you're going to be stuck with.
Unless you're Meta World Peace.
Yeah.
Max, what was your favorite?
I almost don't even want to say it because it's bullshit, but Cam Whitmore going 20 is, I guess, the best value of the draft.
Oh, okay, Villanova.
I mean, Villanova is the most year in and year out. They get disrespected in the draft every year, and then they outperform their expectations time and time again. So I guess this will just be another case.
Okay, another chip on your shoulder. Jake, do you have a favorite pick?
Yeah, besides Tommy Hawkeyes to the Heat, like you mentioned, good for Jordan Hawkins getting a lottery pick, the final lottery pick, going from national championship at UConn to lottery pick. What a run in terms of 3 months for him and Coach Hurley.
Yes, good pick by the Pelicans. And then Billy, pull up the draft real quick. Let's hear it.
No, my real surprise is like how crazy that in the top 7 picks, 5 aren't from college basketball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like what's going wrong? What's wrong with the American system?
Well,
some of them are American.
There are American.
They're 6 out of 7.
What's right?
5 out of
What's
7.
going right?
Also, I think that Victor Wembanyama might not be as French as he lets on.
He
speaks real good English. Good English. And how
better
French,
than us.
Definitely better than us. He definitely spells better than I do. How French can you really be if your name is Victor? That's not, to me, that's not a French word at all.
Yeah.
They don't know the definition of that.
All right, so good. Yeah. So not a pick, Billy, just a thought.
Just a thought.
Okay, I like that. Thoughts on the draft? I like it.
Are the Mets, are the French Mets, are they like the Angels in baseball, where they've got the two best players by far, and then they just can't win a championship?
So I was listening to Windhorse. I think it was on his podcast last week. He was saying that the team, they basically built an entire team to get Victor Wembanyama like better ready for the NBA. Like they got rid of like all their old guys and brought in young guys just so he could practice harder and longer and like and you know the guys could push him. And so it was like and he was telling a story about the actual team facility is like a rec gym that ESPN, when they did their photo shoot with Victor Wembanyama, rented out the gym so the team couldn't practice that day.
I don't hate that strategy because they've never had as much advertisement for their team as they had today. Like getting two players in the top 10 is incredible.
I guess the team might not even, I don't know if they have relegation in French basketball, but like the team might not exist anymore after he leaves. So it was like all built just as a way to get him better ready for NBA basketball.
I also just love the fact that they're called the Mets. That's such a
Is it
funny
like the
name
Mets
for a French
96 or something?
Mets
It's like
92?
92.
Yeah, Mets 92.
Okay.
Yeah, Boulogne, Lavoie, Metropolitans 92. Sorry for my French. Pardon my French.
Okay.
That was good, Jake.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good. Okay. Because there's all NBA in the news, should we talk about, let's do Marcus Smart first. Marcus Smart got traded to the Grizzlies. Hank was very sad, lashed out at Max. The Grizzlies so it was a three-way trade. The Celtics got Kristaps. Who went to, did Brogdon go to, no, Brogdon wasn't in it because he was
Brogdon
supposed to be in
wasn't
the
in that
Clippers
one.
trade that didn't go through.
Brogdon screwed it all up.
Yeah, because of medical. So what was the trade exactly, Hank? Do you have it in front of you?
Marcus Smart is on the Grizzlies. Kristaps is on the Celtics. I don't know the rest of it.
There's a couple picks, too.
Yeah, the Wizards got
The Wizards got Gallinari.
Oh, they got Tyus Jones, too.
Tyus Jones, yeah.
Yeah, Tyus Jones, who will be good.
Nice
Who got
young
Gallinari?
piece.
I thought the
Yeah.
Wizards got Gallinari.
I don't think so.
Hank, so you're sad.
Yeah, I mean it's sad. Marcus Smart, when I first started working at Barstool, was the 2014 year after he got drafted. That's when I started paying a lot closer attention. He was on those bad rebuilding teams, heart and soul of the team. Obviously, it was great watching him through this last run. He never changed. He never switched up. He was fun to watch. He was he would drive you nuts sometimes, but you loved watching him, and it's a good deal. And I don't hate Porzingis. I think the Celtics are still making more moves. So that part makes it a little, easier to swallow, but it's still sad. It's still,
Yeah.
it's like a breakup.
Yeah,
I hear
one
you.
below
I hear you.
McHale and Bird, right?
Yeah, well, that was a
I know it
callback
was.
joke to 2014. But
Yeah.
I actually do empathize with Hank and sympathize with him. I do both. But it always sucks when you lose a fan favorite like that, a guy that busts his ass all the time, even when it seemed like they didn't have a shot at winning anything through the bad years, and he was always like a fun, high-energy guy to watch. That sucks for Hank and for Max. I know that Max loved Marcus Smart.
The Wizards did get Gallinari, by the way, who I was
you're
like,
right.
I was
about to
I was
say.
excited to watch him play this year. Obviously, he got hurt, and that's just a little stinger where it's like you were kind of hoping like, oh, once we have Gallinari back, we're going to be sick, and then he just never played for a second.
Yeah, we got Gallinari and what's his name, the Italian guy,
Muscala or
Muscala.
whatever.
Yeah. It is always in sports when you lose a guy who it feels like he cares as much or even more than the fans. That always is like it's different because
Sorry, keep going.
yeah, no, it just is different. There's a different attachment to a guy like that who it's a job for a lot of these guys. Obviously, they want to win, but like it always felt like Marcus Smart cared that extra bit, and he seemed like a really good dude. And you were sad last night.
Yeah, there was news that came out today too that basically it was supposed to be Brogdon. The Celtics thought they were going to trade Brogdon. The injury, physical stuff happened where they kind of had to reassess and make a quick decision. And Marcus Smart barely knew the news, so that like kind of sucks. Where it's like a guy who gave his heart and soul for the team just kind of gets like sprung on him. He's getting traded. And a nice story, shout out to Marcus Smart, great guy. He's doing his annual children's camp next week, and the foundation tweeted, like, we texted Marcus, obviously, if he wanted to postpone given the recent events. He's like, absolutely not. Got to do it for the kids. So just a great dude. Sad day. I didn't lash out at all at Max. I didn't say anything infactual. I was mad. I was upset. And then I was thinking about the show the other day when fake Celtics fan Max said his favorite player was Marcus Smart, and then he got traded. Like, I said he's fat, bad luck Brian with a soul patch, which is true. Like,
no,
literally everything in his life is the top meme of bad luck Brian. Like, says Marcus Smart's his favorite player. Traded next day. Like,
well,
the fat part felt unnecessary.
Infactual.
Thank you.
What's infactual?
Infactual. I just looked it up just to double check. It's this is the definition: a non-existent word that no matter how many times you smack someone upside the head trying to correct them, they refuse to believe the word is actually.
The word itself is infactual.
Yes.
Wait, who said infactual?
Unfactual.
You
Unfactual.
did. He said infactual.
Without fact.
I don't know. I don't even know.
It's inside the fact.
Sure.
You said infactual. The word is unfactual.
Yeah, you're infatuated with Max.
Wembantonio's a better speaker than us. Yeah, it happens.
But Hank, the fat comment seemed a little bit unnecessary. That was lashing out.
Max, I don't want to be this guy. Fact or fiction?
In fact or in fiction?
You guys talk about it all day. I'm like, it's the same thing when I say it to Big Cat. All you guys talk about is how fat you are. Then I, a skinny guy, say it, and you guys are like, oh.
No, well, there's a tone. There's a tone.
It was a tweet.
He's right.
There was a tone to your tweet. There's a reason why every response was like, whoa, what is going on here?
Yeah, that's Twitter. There's just a bunch of pussies.
I don't think he's that fat.
If you think that Twitter is being a pussy by... I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
Okay, now we got two Titans. We got two Titans facing off here in a debate. Fuck the RFK doctor debate. We got Hank and Max going toe to toe right now.
We're like that ref from the boxing meme where it's just back and forth.
And neither of them are throwing punches. They're just like going like no one's landed anything. The CompuBox is like, well, Hank used a word that doesn't exist, and Max literally can't speak.
Max said Twitter is pussy.
Where was that going? If you think Twitter's pussy,
no, it's just that's a wild thing to say. Be like, oh yeah, Twitter's way too big of a pussy to ever call Max fat. As if that's not like the only response to any picture that's ever tweeted about me.
Max isn't that fat. You wouldn't have been able to get stiff arm that hard if you were.
It was more not saying you're fat. I'm just saying Bad Luck Brian's smaller. So like to give people a visual representation of what I was talking about, I just mean an enlarged version of Bad Luck Brian.
Hank was doing a really nice favor for you, Max, because
I was just trying to mourn the loss of my favorite player. That's the problem here. Like I got the news, got really upset. I said earlier in the day. Because PFT was like, Jaylen Brown's going to get traded and he's your favorite player. I'm like, yeah, that does stink. But actually, Marcus Smart's my favorite player. And I said that because I meant it, because Marcus Smart is my favorite player on the Celtics. And then I get the news, and it's like a slap right across the face. And then all of a sudden, I'm upset. I'm like about to text Hank, be like, "Yo, man, this sucks." Like, you know, when you text your boys when like a really bad loss happens.
No words.
And then all of a sudden, it's just slander. It's insults. It's slander. And
it's not slander. That's
and
not
it's
what
facts. You're a fake slander. Celtics fan, and you're Bad Luck Brian.
But Max, you actually Hank explaining it that way, he was doing you a favor, because if he said you were Bad Luck Brian without qualifying that you're fatter, people would have replied and been like, he's not Bad Luck Brian, he's too fat for that. So he was actually helping you, getting in front of it.
Disagree. And I still am waiting on the apology.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
That's never happening.
I'm waiting on PFT's apology for fucking Leroy. I'm happy you brought that up, because
I'm not fucking
like,
Leroy.
PFT,
This is not. I'm not.
PFT, you fucked your dog?
I don't love fucking dogs.
PFT ruined the integrity of this podcast. We had a million responses being like, "You guys don't know ball. This is bullshit," because he tweeted Jaylen Brown's getting traded in a situation that's not even possible.
Hank, it actually is possible, and it's Leroy, my dead dog, that you're upset with, not me. Okay, Leroy
Let
gets
him- let him-
60%
let him
of his
sleep, PFT.
He gets 60% of his scoops right. That's what he does.
He's
Okay,
dead.
so this might be in the 40%, might be in the 60%. We won't know.
Hank just kept
What's
yelling at PFT yesterday, being like, "Your dog is dead. Your
Yeah,
dog is
no.
dead. Let your
my-
dog die."
My dead dog does actually live rent free in Hank's head.
Yeah.
You were so angry.
Whatever.
You were so mad.
I love all you guys.
All
I love you
right.
too.
So
One thing I do know about the Grizzlies though is they're going to have the top team not to be fucked with in terms of just beating the shit out of you. They got Marcus Smart, they got Steven Adams, and they have John Morant who will shoot you on the same team.
Marcus Smart was literally built for Memphis. He is the grit and grind Grizzlies all over again.
Yeah.
It's the perfect trade for them. Like he's going to be perfect for them.
Yeah, they're going to beat the shit out of people next year. They're going to be fun to watch.
All right, other trade, Chris Paul, in maybe the most hilarious twist in the NBA this year, got traded to the Warriors, and if he does in fact stay on the Warriors, which it seems like the Warriors want him to, he is now going to be Steph Curry's backup, a guy who's had beef with for, I don't know, like 6-7 years now, and he might win a ring as Steph Curry's backup, which would be just so fitting for Chris Paul. He said that he talked to Steph and he's excited. There's no way he's excited. They've gone toe to toe for, it feels like, it's like 7-8 years now. And there's just no way he's happy about this.
Who on the Warriors has Chris Paul hit in the dick in the past? I know he's landed a couple nut shots on him, right?
I don't know. So there's a couple things. So Chris Paul was kind of Steph Curry's mentor when Steph Curry was first in the league. And then Steph Curry became the best player in the league and started winning rings when it was supposed to be Chris Paul's time. We also had the Houston series, both those series back to back. We had, remember, the famous Chris Paul laugh face to Steve Kerr. This year, Steph Curry drove on Chris Paul in a game and scored on him and then started screaming in his face, "It's not 2014 anymore. It's not 2014 anymore." We also had in that Rockets Warrior, it's pretty deep, Rockets Warriors series. I think it was the second one. Chris Paul denied Steph Curry being able to practice on the court before the game. And then the Warriors won the series and was like, you're not going to let me on this court. You're not going to let me on this court in the tunnel. And then finally, I think it was in 2019 or so, Chris Paul was asked to make his perfect point guard. And he went through the list and he picked Gilbert Arenas for shot making.
Yeah. Yeah, no, game respect game.
So
Agent
they
Zero,
don't like
baby.
each other. They do not like each other. And now Chris Paul is going to be his backup.
I respect that take. Yeah, Gilbert Arenas. People sleep on Gilbert Arenas just because Steph Curry changed. Steph Curry ruined basketball. Gilbert Arenas just made basketball beautiful. I agree with Chris on that one. But it's going to be a weird fit. It seems like the Warriors have become a team that's just on the brink emotionally recently.
Well, Jordan Poole, Draymond was that.
Draymond might not come back next year. We don't know what's going on with that. Jordan Poole, getting him out of there, I think that's a great trade for both the Warriors and for the Wizards.
I'd agree.
Because the Wizards need to tank. They should have tanked a year ago before they gave Bradley Beal the no trade clause. They should have started this process of tanking over 12 months ago, but they were run by an idiot. And getting Jordan Poole on your team to be the man and hey, Jordan Poole, we're giving you the keys to the car. These Wizards are going to go as far as Jordan Poole will take them. And Jordan Poole is going to average 35 points a game, and they're going to win 0 games next year. It's going to be beautifully bad basketball to watch. I just wish that this had happened a year ahead of time so that we would have at least been I guess we were favored at 55% to get Wembantonio during the draft. But to just tank, get a higher pick, start to rebuild, and start to run this team like a competent organization, it's just a year too late.
Yeah, it's I like it for the Wizards. I actually like it for the Warriors too because you get Chris Paul's the best backup point guard in the league.
Yeah.
Right? He is.
He has to
and they cleared a lot of money with Jordan Poole. They traded Ryan Rollins, who also clears money, so they can get one of those. I never understand all the exceptions in the NBA. It's like a mid-level, veteran exception, whatever. It was mostly for contract for the Warriors because they only owe Chris Paul money this year, and they'll probably restructure it. And yeah, He is the best backup point guard in the league.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. Ricky
I don't-
Rubio.
No, actually, the argument would be maybe for Tyus Jones, who now is going to be a starter.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. What else we got? Hank, you have your hand up.
I was just had my hand up. But shout out to Ryan, the Breakers player.
Yes. Shout out. Do you know his name? I don't.
Ryan Rupert.
Yep. Ryan Rupert. I actually have his jersey.
Yeah,
How could I forget?
we drafted him on the Breakers. Mm-hmm. Shout out to every team for being fucking idiots and not drafting
hasn't got
Marquise
drafted
Noel.
Yeah. Marquise Noel, maybe second round?
Maybe.
That
It's
always
not
is-
over.
It's
Yeah,
so
but
funny.
It's not going to happen, Jake. I've been reading a lot of draft previews and mock drafts and shit, and I haven't seen a single one with Marquise. He's going to make people pay.
Summer
Fucking
League.
love that guy.
Summer League.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Other things. Oh, that college baseball game was incredible. LSU, walk-off. Tommy Tanks, what a nickname. And now we have LSU versus Florida in the final. It was one of those things where I was watching the whole game, so I have to comment on it because it was that good. It was an awesome, awesome game.
It was like that Houston Mariners game in the playoffs last year,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
College baseball is so awesome. I'm so glad that it's going to be LSU Florida, the championship game. It just once again proves that, yeah, okay, you're going to have some fun Cinderella moments where we're like, oh, maybe Oral's going to make it. But it's just the SEC's world, and we're living in it. Also, it's so LSU that this happened. They had such a great moment in sports on the same day that their former football coach had, I forget, like a bunch of wins taken away and had to be vacated for recruiting violations. And Will Wade, their former basketball coach, got hit with more NCAA punishments. So like 2 out of 3 programs right there, big slaps on the wrist. Meanwhile, LSU is like, fuck you, it's Louisiana, who cares?
Yeah, and this, we actually, write this down, Jake, records that will never be broken for Mount Rushmore in the future, because the Jello shot record will, because it's a 3-game series, so it's at least 2 more games. That will never be touched. LSU fans getting to stay in Omaha for another like 4 or 5 days. I don't know when it starts. Like that will never ever be touched. That
Yeah,
record.
shout out
Saturday's game
to-
1.
Todd
Yeah.
Graves, CEO of Raising Cane's. Hank and I actually got a chance to talk to him at TEU about the Jello shot thing, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I saw that board," and I called him up and I said, "I'll take 5,000 of them."
6,000. He got 6,000.
No, he said I'll take 5,000. Then he heard the record was 5,900, and then he said I'll take 6,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. Should Zuckerberg and Elon fight? That was the other thing I had written down.
Yeah. I saw, was it Zuck that said drop your location for the fight?
Yeah, and
I
Mark
think that
Zuckerberg.
He's got that shit.
Just so everyone knows, Elon owns Twitter, and Mark Zuckerberg is the guy who didn't get choked out recently.
Yeah, they should
That's their
fight.
claims to fame.
They should fight on the Sentinelese Islands, and they should
They're
just show up there and may the best man win.
Dana White said that he would put the fight on, and he said it would be the highest pay-per-view of all time because they donate all the charity. And I probably agree. Like, it would smash all records, and it would probably suck. It would be the worst fight, and everyone will tune in to see it.
I mean, what they should do is they should put their companies up. It's like winner gets the other dude's social media platform.
Swapsies.
Or no, just like takes it over.
Yeah.
They both
Ooh, I
own it.
like
So like Elon runs Meta, Facebook, whatever, and then Zuck could take over Twitter.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a
Zuck
lot.
would just tap him out.
You think
You,
so?
you think Zuck wins? Elon's a big
Yeah.
boy though. Elon's low key a hoss.
Barrel chested.
No,
Yeah.
but Zuck would just get one of his ligaments because he knows jiu-jitsu and it wouldn't be that good unless Elon's an insane striker and can keep him off him. But I don't think that's the truth.
Billy, Elon is like a pretty big dude, right?
Yeah, but
He also would he'd be big time on the gear.
I think he's on Ozempic, but that doesn't help with fighting.
That's true. That's true. But you don't think he would just do a shitload of steroids before this fight? He absolutely would.
He might, but that doesn't help with technique. I mean, Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir. Like, Frank Mir tapped him out the first time. That's what it's going to be like.
Okay.
How
Mark
good
Zuckerberg
is?
just got choked out.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
like good at jujitsu. He's just
he
a billionaire,
was-
and he pays
snoring.
shitty people.
Yeah.
The learning curve on jiu-jitsu is like Zuckerberg's been through, like he knows how to swim. Like he knows how to tap a guy out.
Well, no, he
That's
knows
all
how
it
to
is.
drown.
But he's
got
tapped
tapped
other
out.
guys out. He's tapped other guys out. I watched all of his film. He like unfortunately
I take your
beat him
word
up,
for
Billy?
it.
I sifted through all of it. That's what I do. So to find to find the good stuff, and like he's tapped dudes out. Zuckerberg shouldn't take
could
it.
you beat up Mark Zuckerberg?
I'm gonna be honest. I mean, jiu-jitsu guys can like take your pinky and make you tap. He's
Yeah,
been
Steven
like,
Seagal does that.
yeah, like it's that type of thing. So unless Elon's doing tons of jiu-jitsu in the meantime, it's not gonna be that good of a fight. Unless Elon gets one lucky hit on him and knocks him out.
Okay. Well, either way, I want to see it. I really want to see it. It would definitely be one of those pay-per-views I buy, and then I'll be very upset that I bought it.
Do you think? I mean, what do you think the celebrity attendance would be like? Would it be treated like a pay-per-view big boxing fight, or would it be like weirdos?
It
would be
a lot of
nerds.
weirdos. A lot of
Nerds.
weirdos would be there. Yeah,
But celebrities,
Their employees would show up in droves just to prove that they back the boss.
if they did it in Vegas, would there be A-list celebrities there?
Joe
Yes. Yes. At least a handful. Yes.
We should go.
Rogan,
Yeah.
Mark Davis, he would go.
Definitely. That's as A-list as it gets. Also, one last thing before we get to George Kittle and our Mount Rushmore famous football plays. I think that on Monday's show, so I've listened to some feedback. It is baseball season. I think everyone needs to come with one hot take about baseball season on Monday's show. Okay?
Great.
One hot take, and we'll do a baseball, little like just recap of everything. Hot take on whatever's going on in the baseball season. We do, by the way, also have our baseball draft coming up July 3rd, which we've already taped. So we will be talking baseball then.
That is technically our baseball preview.
Yeah, that is our baseball preview because we learned a lot of names in that draft. But I think one hot take from everyone on Monday's show in the baseball world will be good.
I think the bases need to be bigger.
Nope,
They're not-
save it.
they're not big
Save
enough
it.
yet.
Save it. Save
They're
it.
almost there. They're so close.
Save it. Save it. All right, should we get to George Kittle?
Yeah, let's get to George.
Okay.
Love George. He's brought to you by Chevy Trucks, our great friends over at Chevy Trucks. Chevy is strong, it's capable, and it's able to produce. It's versatile, it's dependable. And like a few of the tight ends at Tight End University, Silverado is coming off an awesome year. Big Cat, do you know what they were ranked? Were they the number 3 best-selling retail full-size pickup?
I'm going to say at least 2.
Were they number 2? No, they were number 1. They were number 1. They were the best-selling retail full-size pickup. But winners, they don't take a playoff. Same with Silverado. Chevy just debuted the new Silverado HD. It's got even more power, enhanced interiors, and smarter technology, all offering the legendary Duramax engine and Allison transmission. All that modern tech, just like the 1500, Silverado comes with the dependability and longevity Chevy trucks are famous for. I absolutely love the Chevy Silverado. Again, it got us all the way across the country. No problems. It was a great drive. I love driving this truck. Super easy to take on the highway. Great to use on the back roads. We use it in the snow. I don't know if did we tell this on the show one time? We were in Amarillo, Texas, getting back from dinner one night, and it was snowing. It was snowing in Texas. And we pulled into a parking lot where a hotel was. There was a truck that was not a Silverado that was stuck in the snow trying to get out of the parking lot. We cruised right by him, totally emasculated the guy. We had to get out of our Silverado and then push their truck to get it out of the snow. Meanwhile, the Silverado just cruised right through it. It's a great truck. Go to Chevy.com, learn more. Chevy.com, learn more. And now, here's George Kittle.
Okay, we now welcome on a very, 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 very special guest. It is our longtime friend, George Kittle. We are in his workout facility in Nashville. Tight End U. Let's start there. Tight End U. This is what, year 3?
Year 3.
And it is getting big. You guys have official merch.
Yeah, we do.
How many tight ends are coming?
75 to 85, somewhere in there. I got a
That's
couple
lot of tight
texts
ends.
last night of guys like, "Hey, I forgot to sign up. Can I still show up?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure. Here's a number. Text this person. They'll take care of it for you."
So what is like? Has it been successful in the fact that are we getting tight ends more money now? Do you think that it's worked that way? And also, you should have worked in a deal where you get like a part of everyone's contract. This is just something we can give for you.
That's not a bad idea. That's
free business advice.
It is free business advice. Yeah, year 3, I do think I think tight end play has definitely increased. I think guys are taking tips and learning from it. I'm very excited about this year. We have Gronk's coming this year to teach stuff. He's very excited about it. And then Jordan Reed is coming to teach releases.
Oh,
I'm very excited about that too.
he's got a great release.
I know. He's got great releases. And I don't know if we can all do the things that he did, but to see him like coach those up, I'm pretty excited about. Travis is doing 2 different classes on why he, like a basic route, a 12-yard in route, and why he runs it differently versus cover 4, cover 3, man coverage. And so he's going to teach us why he does the things that he does. That'll be pretty interesting to listen to. I'm talking gap scheme and outside zone. Pretty
Nice.
excited. Just set the tone.
Well,
Is there anything that you guys have that you don't want to share with the other tight ends, like special sauce? It's like, no, this belongs to Kittle. I don't want to share with you guys.
No, I'm like, I might not say everything, but if guys ask me questions, like there's nothing I'm going to hide from people. Like I want to give you the tools to be a successful tight end, because at the end of the day, if all tight end play is elevated, we're all going to do better off from it.
Can you create the perfect tight end based on attributes of players that are currently playing right now? If you were to build, like put different body parts, different skill sets together,
Frankenstein,
what does the Voltron of tight ends look like?
Ooh, how many tight ends?
You
as
get
many as you want.
Oh,
Yeah.
active.
okay.
or
I'll give you body parts, and then you can say,
All right,
who
cool.
gets his heart. Who's heart? Who's heart?
Can we end with that one?
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
end with heart, because
Brain.
that might be the most important.
yeah.
Who
Okay,
knows?
yeah.
Brain.
Brain. Smarts out there. I think I'd go with Kelsey, just because him and Mahomes is like a tag team. Like,
You get part of Mahomes' brain with
Well,
Kelsey.
I was going to ask, like, Kelsey, when he gives his presentation, is the first part of his presentation like get Patrick Mahomes to throw you the ball?
that was he.
Because that would be like
the
pretty
first
much
2
the
years he
lesson
said,
over.
he was like, you know what, don't always listen to what your coaches say and just kind of go play football. Then he was like, you know what, you guys don't really have the freedom that I have. So, and you also, you don't have Patrick, so do what you're supposed to do, but here are some tips if you do get off script and off schedule.
Gronk the same way, being like, biggest tip for your career is find Tom Brady and be on his team.
Be on his team and then have decent wide receivers around you so you can get one-on-one coverage
Yes.
throughout the middle.
All
Yeah,
right,
that was
all
a good
right.
tip.
All right, so Brain, Kelsey.
I think I'd go just Kelsey, because like he sees coverages. You should like listening to him talk about coverage and stuff. It's pretty awesome. Like he's not just out there messing around. Like he actually has a plan going into every single play for like different coverage and stuff, which is pretty cool. Not everybody does that. All right, Brain.
Let's see, feet.
Evan Ingram.
Okay.
Yeah, nice and fast, explosive guy.
Yep. What about hands?
Hands. I'll give you Mark Andrews.
Okay.
Yeah, boy can catch it all.
That's a good answer.
Thank you.
He loves Lamar Jackson's balls.
He does.
That was
I
the
know
big
he talked
quote.
about that. He's a huge fan of Lamar's balls. He's been throwing great balls all OTAs.
Yeah, you like Brock's balls?
I do love. Yeah, they're great balls. He throws great balls.
What about lefty?
Dude, I don't know what it is. Lefties are just, it's awkward. I don't know how people catch it.
But yeah, what about Brock lefty?
Oh, he should have, I did ask him first day of OTAs. I was like, hey, were you working on that left arm? He was like, actually, I was the whole offseason. I got really bored, so I just started throwing the ball left hand. I was like, hey, well, we're set for, any playoff run, man. We're good.
A quick detour.
Yeah.
When that happened in that game, in the NFC Championship game, I would imagine your brain, like at the beginning, you're like, all right, we can figure this out. And then at what point you're like, yeah, we're fucked.
When Josh got his concussion and like was gone, even though like it was 21-7, but we had just we converted like a 3rd and 14. We're on like the 40-yard line. I was like, all right, let's get like 20 more yards, kick a field goal. It's 21-10, and then like we have the best defense in the NFL, and we'll see what happens. And then once he got hurt, and then I saw Brock jog back, and I was like, he can't throw a football.
It's got to be the worst feeling to just be like, well, this kind of sucks.
Well, it's like I'm sitting there and there's 11 guys in the box. Like they're pressed man on the wide receivers, and then they just have 9 other guys 6 yards off the line of scrimmage. I'm like, well, it doesn't really matter how good your run game is. It doesn't matter how good Trent Williams is or like how good I am. Like there's just nothing you can really do. It is what it is.
Did you start getting the arm warmed up? Did you just throw a couple spirals and you're like, hey, maybe?
I was like, Christian has this. We had a wide receiver, Juwan Jennings. He was in high school. He was like the 4th quarterback on Rivals rankings.
Oh, wow.
In his class.
Why wasn't he playing?
You know what? The NFL, I'll say this, it's not like college or high school. You can just put your best athlete back there and say, hey, just go be a great kid. It's
Yeah,
like the NFL, like they've game planned for it. It's pretty good athletes.
You have to know the plays.
Yeah,
there's also a few variables that go into it.
That's a very fan like brain of us because we forget sometimes that like everyone on an NFL field
pretty good.
was like the best ever in like for their high school and could play every position. So we're like, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, why wouldn't you
Like
just
he
do
could
that?
he could be incredible.
I would have put Trent Williams in at quarterback and just been like run forward, just
Yeah.
every play. Get 2
It's
yards.
just quarterback power every
Yeah.
play.
yeah.
That would have been awesome.
All right, what about toughness?
Me.
Yes.
That's me.
Yes.
Grit, toughness.
I don't know if
got that.
we ever talked to you about that play against the Saints.
Oh, no. What's up?
That play ruled.
Thank you. It was pretty
So
fun.
for people who don't remember, it was the end of the game. Was it 4th down?
4th and 2.
We had 4th and 2, and George got caught a pass, and then basically just bullied the entire Saints secondary,
did.
like throwing them off of them. It looked like a Jerry Bruckheimer film where you're just explosions everywhere. When you finished that play, could you see in their eyes like you're just the alpha on the field in that moment?
I was totally blacked out. I was like, I hate when people grab my face mask, and I was just like, that happened. I threw him off. Dude landed on my leg, and I just got up and I was like King Kong, my chest. And after that too, because it was like, I think we had like 76 snaps as an offense, and I took 76 snaps. Jesus. And I knew we were in field range. I just like put my hand up and I was like, I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
game over. Like,
I've done my job.
I've done my job. Get me off the field. Like, get me to next week. I'm tired. Like, we're done with this. And then like, I didn't realize how cool it was really until I watched the replay, and I was like, yeah, it was pretty sick.
Yeah, it was really sick.
It was pretty cool.
I like it when you laugh during plays, when you're like just punching guys in the chest and you're just laughing at them.
Having fun. All right, what about strength?
Strength. Ooh, that's a good one. Let's see. Strongest tight end right now. Darren Waller would be pretty cool, but like I kind of want to save him for speed because
Okay, so he's speed.
he's gonna probably be speed. Strength though. Is strength and explosiveness be the same?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go Darren Waller then.
Okay.
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 Yeah,
So
go
he gets
Darren Waller.
speed and strength.
Speed and strength.
And then maybe you could do an extra strength. Who can lift the most?
I think pound for pound, I might be up there for strongest.
What are you squatting these days?
I front squat, I don't know, like 450.
Oh, it's not that much.
I know, I could be better.
What about
Billy just
bench?
got eyes for
What are you
you.
benching?
Yeah, I hit a 275 banded bench today. It was nice. Good
Yeah,
warm up.
lightweight. Yeah,
it was
just a warm up.
Yeah, it was nice.
Just a quick warm up.
What
I
about
saw Trent Williams, his warm up on an incline bench press was 315 one time. Jesus.
Are you ever scared? Are you scared of Trent Williams? Like he seems like the #1 guy in the NFL that you don't want to fuck with.
Yes, but because he's on my team, he's super nice, and he makes my job so much easier. Like in my opinion, he's the best football player in the NFL. Like it's him, Aaron Donald, and I think like Nick Bosa is pretty close. Mahomes is up there, but like I think Trent Williams is like by far on a playing field by himself.
I like that take.
Yeah, are you as excited as we are when they put him in motion and it's like, okay, Trent Williams is going to be the lead blocker on this play and he's got a 7-yard head start.
Well, it's fun too because I'm the tight end he's running at, and so like if you look like back in our playoff game versus the Packers, he smoked the defensive end into me. And then they both landed on top of me. And I was just happy. I was like, wow, that had to have looked really cool. Like, what a fun play. Trent Williams in motion.
Yeah.
And then I think, someday we'll get a pass off of it too, hit him in the flat. Like who's that? Was that Penny Sewell with the Lions?
Yes, to win the game. Yes.
Yeah, like how cool. Like hopefully we can do that with Trent at
Yes.
some point.
What about liver? Who's got the best liver? Who's the hardest part here?
Ooh.
Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Travis or Mark.
Yeah.
They're both pretty talented.
What about blocking? That's you.
Yeah, I'll take blocking. Or if you're like a guy that just retired, like Luke Stalker, Tennessee vet, he was a fantastic blocker as well.
Okay.
Or Nick Boyle,
Okay.
thick boy.
Yeah.
Heart.
All right, we
You
built
wanna
the
do
perfect
heart?
Tight end. Yeah, heart.
I think all tight ends have great heart, man. I think it's just like it's
Do
a
they?
culmination.
Does every tight end have great heart?
I think a majority of us do.
I'm going to just take a contrarian stand. I think I brought this up to you last year. Is the tight end position becoming too flashy? You guys have your own camp. You have your own holiday.
We do have a holiday.
Kind of a look at me type thing, huh?
Well, has the tight end position ever been looked at? I feel like it's always been like under the bridge, like he's just a guy. I
Yeah.
mean, like this is my take on it: is Travis Kelce is either first or second behind Devontae Adams of most receiving yards in the last 6 years, and he pays half of what the best wide receivers are paid. And so that kind of seems like it's just water in the bridge. Like, oh, like he's just supposed to that he plays tight end. And then you don't really get a lot of attention and stuff. And I don't think a lot of like NFL fans, unless you're looking at your NFL team, would know very many tight ends in the NFL besides the top 3 or 4, maybe.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
I also think tight ends, like they are the most, they're the pinnacle of football players in that they do everything.
Yeah, I get a run block, I get a pass block, pass pro on defensive ends, I get to run routes on linebackers, nickel safeties. Trey Burton threw a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl. I get reverses, I get to run the ball. Like you get to really do everything, and no other position can do that.
So we talk about a lot of tight ends that take a lot of pride in their run blocking. What about the pass protection? Who's the best pass protecting tight end?
Me.
You?
Yeah, if it comes to blocking, I'm like, I'll toot my own horn. I mean, like that's the stuff I practice that stuff my entire offseason. I take all the reps in season. Like I'm very prideful when it comes to that stuff. And like when it's like second down and they're like, hey, it's past 15 week, you're one-on-one versus Cam Jordan, you're one-on-one versus TJ Watt, go for it. I'm not like, yeah, like, hey, he gets paid millions of dollars to rush the passer.
Yeah.
But I look at that as an opportunity for me to be like, you're not going to be able to get past me. And I'm very excited about that.
So I actually think you could play every position on the field. I think you could be
some weight on, but yeah.
I think you could be a good defensive end if you wanted to.
Dude, I would love to play outside linebacker. Get up to like 265 and just set the edge. It'd be so much fun. It'd be so much fun.
That's how much he loves football. You just want to play every position.
Dude, force a couple fumbles. Like, I've always said, like, if you give me like 5 third down pass rushes against the right tackle, I don't want to go against Trent Williams. I don't think I'd win that. But I feel like I'd win at least one.
Yeah. All right. So I want to tell a quick story. I think we've told this on Pardon My Take before, but you hold a very special place in our heart because you're a true, like, Pardon My Take guest, like, great story where we were at 49ers camp your rookie year. Yeah. We interviewed Joe Staley, and after the interview, he's like, hey, we got this rookie who's like a big fan. Can you guys take a picture with him? And we're like, fuck, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
we'll do
we love
anything
the fans.
for fans.
Yeah.
Like, we'll take a picture. Turns out to be George Kittle. We then start like watch. We're like, wait, is that the guy who is a huge fan? Because like we're thinking, oh, this guy, he's at the end of the roster. Like, nice job, you made the NFL. Yeah. Good. Ends up being the best tight end in the league, and you've been a fan ever since. You've been the same guy ever since. In terms of your career, so what year are you? 87?
7.
7.
Going to year 7.
How are you feeling? Like, do you feel as good as you did then? Are you starting to feel the miles? Are you like, let's get a status check on your mentals and where you are with your NFL career?
I was actually super pumped. I finished this season as the healthiest I've ever been in my career. Like I didn't have to do any type of tweaks. Like I didn't have to rehab anything. The healthiest I've ever been. So like I was able to start training right when I wanted to start training. Didn't have to hold anything back. I was running routes. So like right now, yes, is there definitely more mileage than there was? For sure. And like you can feel that. And there's things I do to, help with that. I'm big into stem cells. Like I do a lot of rehab and I'm always preparing for stuff like that. And I'm always preparing for like the 17 game season. But like this is the best I've ever felt. So like I'm just looking to continue to, level up my game and try to be better out there.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. One little note though.
Yeah.
And this might be just because we're looking for it because we consider you a friend and we're like, actively rooting for you on Sundays.
For sure.
You do, it feels like, lead the league in little like tweak injuries that look like you're going to be out forever.
Dude, it's crazy.
So if you could maybe like start doing a quick thumbs up just so, because I don't know, how many times has it happened in the gambling cave where like, oh, fuck.
That's an MCL.
Oh, fuck. Kittle's out. God damn it. This sucks.
Sprained
this sucks.
ankle.
You probably go find my tweets where I'm like, please be okay. Please be okay.
No, I've seen a couple of those. You post one, they're like, George, I hope you're okay. It's just a screenshot of my knee bent back.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So like
that was actually insane.
Yeah.
That was Seattle 2021.
Yeah, we need like some kind of sign you can give us where it's like we don't have to worry.
I only missed one play and I came right back in.
I know. That's the thing.
Crazy.
Like we see these and we're like, he's done. It's over. And then you're right back in there.
I know.
So maybe just a thumbs up.
Okay. If that ever happens, I'll just be sure to give you one of these.
Yeah, but just a quick one.
I feel like you do that every time, regardless of what the injury was. If it was an ACL, you'd be like, I'll get out there. We say that you get to the side, you have like the halo tattoo.
Yeah.
We say that you get to the sidelines and you just hit yourself with a stem kit and you're like, okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back. Yeah.
Maybe do a thumb sideways. Okay. So that way we know, but the other team is like, oh, George isn't feeling good. Thumb sideways because
But you guys
no one
will
does.
know.
Yeah, we'll know. We're like he's good to go.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I'll throw that up one time.
Yeah,
I'm
just
actually-
a thumb sideways.
I'm actually shocked that you turned out to be as good an NFL player as you are because you're a big fan of Part of My Take. I always think that like players that spend too much time
a red
listening
flag.
to our shithead thoughts about football, eventually one of our dumb ideas is going to creep into their brain, and then that just derails their entire career.
No, like my favorite thing is on Mondays. Mondays when you do the rundown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I drive into work. I just listen to the rundown. It's one of my favorite parts of my
Yes.
day. It's so funny.
Yeah, but that is a red flag because
It
we're
is,
like,
is it?
hey, he should be in his playbook, not listening
You're
to
right.
us.
I should be studying my plays because there's no game plan on a Monday.
Yeah,
You're 100% right.
throw half facts against the wall.
I love that when fans tell players like, "Wait, what is he doing out like at a bar? He should be reading his playbook." How much time do you actually spend reading a playbook?
Well, like weekly, we install on Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays. Like those are our 3 install days. Wednesday being the heaviest day, and then Thursday's third downs, Friday's red zone. So it's like I look at it on Wednesday. We do walkthrough, we do practice. I review it that night. Thursday, do this like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You'd never see me out like dinner and like that because I'm studying or watching film. And
You don't even eat.
yeah, I stuff my face. I definitely do that. But like Mondays and Tuesdays, no. Like I might watch some tape, but like there's no game plan yet. Like Shanahan's in the cave creating,
doing it.
whatever he's doing.
How many different variations off one single run play has Kyle? Like, what's the most?
It's infinite. I'm not gonna.
Is
lie.
it really?
Yeah, like we have a play. It's like 8. Like you could call it I write clamp 18 Zorro. And we can run that like out of 50 plus formations and motions and all this stuff. Like we really got into like last year's like we do all these motions where it'll look like it's a 3-by-1, right? 3 receivers and 1 guy on the right. And then we'll do a motion and the fullback will go to the right. And then all of a sudden it's a 3-by-1 on the opposite side and it changes all the responsibilities for the defensive guys. And so like it makes them all think so like now the nickel, instead of having the D gap, now he has the B gap. But once we get 3 guys over there, now he has the opposite A gap. And so like we're just trying to confuse guys out there because as soon as the defensive guy is out of a gap, there's Christian McCaffrey for 70 yards.
So Christian McCaffrey, credit to us, we said that the Niners were the one place we wanted to see him go. So we were actually ahead of pretty much everyone.
When
We're
did you
smarter
say
than
that?
Kyle
I'm
Shanahan.
just curious. When did you say that?
We said that, but it was like 2 weeks before he got traded.
Yeah.
2019, we traded jerseys and I wrote on his jersey. I was like, I'll see you soon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
I've been speaking into existence
That's like
for so
an
long.
Etsy dream board.
Oh,
You're just
dude,
like,
he's
someday
incredible.
we'll be together, you and
will
me,
be.
Christian.
I know. I was playing Call of Duty, and then all of a sudden, one of my buddies was like, "Hey, dude, did you see you just traded for Christian McCaffrey?" And I was like, "What?"
Yes.
Looked at my phone. Adam, what was it? Yeah, I think Ian Rappaport tweeted about it. I was like, "This is a." I called him instantly. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like,
So
what are we doing?"
when he came, was it instant where you're like, this is because it really was like Kyle Shanahan's run game and then supercharged with a guy like Christian McCaffrey.
Well, he can run all receiver routes.
Right.
Like he can literally go out there and run like a 10-yard out route, and you can throw him the ball. He's got the steps down. He's got the angle down. Like he can run any route. We're like, a thing we were doing too. It's like we'd run a whole concept to the right, and on the back side we'd just have it's called like a chip choice. And so Christian would chill, it's called chill. So he'd chill for a second, see if there's any blitzes. And if there's not, he'd just run up and run a choice route on the one guy that's left, which is a Mike linebacker.
Right. Just break him down. Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And then they double cover him, and then the route concept's always open because they don't have enough guys to cover us. And so that was a big part of our offense late in the year. It was just like him running choices on the backside and us doing fun stuff on the front.
It is fun to watch. Yeah.
It is pretty cool.
It's very fun. He also just adds to the list of dudes that the Niners have. You guys have
Dudes.
the most dudes.
Yeah.
Besides, let's take out Trent because he is the number 1 dude in the NFL.
Yeah.
Who's the biggest dude?
Bosa.
Easy.
Yeah. Bosa's incredible. Like I said, it's like Trent and Bosa. And then I think like Fred's he's a fantastic football player. Like he's like the heartbeat of our defense. Like the reason that we're so good, like we fly around like we do, it's mostly because of Fred. Then I'd put myself up there. I think one guy that you guys are going to love to watch is Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Like he was cooking our defense all of OTAs. It was so fun to watch.
Yeah, no, he's very underrated because everyone talks about Debo.
yeah.
and
Well, it's like we have like 6 mouths to feed on our offense. And so like if he was in an offense where he was the number 1 choice and got 12 targets a game, he'd probably have 1,400 yards and 15 touchdowns a year.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
We were talking to Coach McDaniel a couple weeks ago.
Isn't he great?
He's
best.
awesome guy.
best. Not a vapor. He was not vapor.
No,
He was not
I
vaping.
saw that.
Yeah.
No,
At
no,
some
no,
point
no.
in the past, he
What's
had
a vape?
but he quit. Yeah. He didn't know the technology that we were
He said it was like
talking
a different life, right? It was like his past
Yeah,
life.
a long time ago.
Totally.
Never do it again. But he was sharing about how he would get the the buy-in and how Kyle gets the buy-in on offense for everybody. We always say, like, on the Niners, everybody is kind of deputized as an offensive lineman or a tight end. If you're a receiver, you basically have to be able to do some tight end stuff.
Yes.
And he gets everybody. He does the clips of the best run plays, and he makes the entire team watch them so that everybody feels that peer pressure to want to be the next dude that goes out there and blocks. Has that been like a key factor in making everybody want to do all that dirty work that sometimes, a receiver would probably rather catch a touchdown than lay somebody out?
And so, like, it's crazy because, like, you expect everybody to block, but, like, if you watch, like, run games and stuff like that, you'll see, and nothing against them, like, some guys just don't run block, like, that's just not in their repertoire. But, like, when you see, like, an X receiver go out and dig out a safety right before he makes a tackle and it adds 15 yards or a touchdown to the run, like, you're like, hey, I want to do that too. And I didn't really see that until in 2019, we traded for Emmanuel Sanders. And he came in, and he's not a big dude by any means. And he was digging out safeties left and right. And then he was also scoring touchdowns and stuff. And, like, if you do the run blocking stuff and you run good routes, Kyle rewards you. And that's, like, kind of the cool thing too. It's like, so yes, what you're saying is, like, he shows it in front of the whole team because it's like you set the standard and then you're not going to get on the field unless you do this. And if you're kind of a wimp in the run game or you don't give a lot of effort, hey, well, we can't trust you. And if we can't trust you, just hey, your one rule on this is to dig out the safety. And if you can't do that, then why would I trust you to run like a double move go ball and score a touchdown?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like earning your stripes is being good in the run game.
I saw a interview you did where you said that sometimes Kyle will run a run play that is like designed to fail just to set up play action later.
Yes.
So the ones that are like,
I'm
is
sitting
not
there.
gonna
I'm
work.
sitting there like this play. Like, I'm just like, it's like it leaves me like one-on-one backside to inside zone versus a defensive end who's crashing the C gap. I'm like, this isn't going to work. Or it's like I have to pull and insert, and it's just like to get the linebacker step up, and then we'll run it. We're in like a slant right behind it to Debo. And like Debo catching the ball at full speed running. Good luck.
It's lights out.
Good luck. And so it's like we run these run plays just to bring everybody up, and then you give Debo space versus two guys. Like, I'm going to take Debo.
Yeah. That's just so funny. The idea of like
wasting plays.
Knowing that, but the reward is there.
Yeah, and it's like, and sometimes like those plays do pop. Sometimes like they're like, hey, like it's not like we're not going into it with the intention of trying to fail, but it's just like, hey, if this goes for 2 yards, it's okay because the first play of the third quarter, we're going to run the pass play off of it, and they're going to all step up because they think they've seen it 3 times. 75-yarder.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That is actually like next level football coaching.
It's pretty cool.
I
don't think I'm releasing any secrets because you can just watch the tape and you can see it.
Well, and also you don't know when it's going to happen.
No, and like
you don't know which play is the one that's,
And like there's games that we don't do that, but like I remember like we were playing the Cardinals, we were in like some gap scheme play where like you have 2 polars and it went for 1 yard, it went for -1 yard, it went for -2 yards, and we were in the pass and it was a touchdown. I was like, that's why we do it.
And if you're Kyle, you can be like, oh yeah, that was one of the wasted plays. If a play doesn't work out, it's like, oh yeah,
it was just a prank.
I meant to do that. I got
just
you.
kidding. Just kidding, guys.
No, I mean people
There's cameras all around. You saw that. You got goofed.
But I mean, people can watch the all 22 all they want, but Kyle's still calling the plays, and when he calls it, you'll never know.
That's what's cool too, because we always come out like the night before the game. We have like every team does this, like your openers. Like these are the plays that we want to run in the first quarter, like to set the tone. And we have 24, and they're just like his 24 favorite plays. And we usually stay on script for like the first 8 to 10. It's like, and that's like it's third down, then we'll call a third down play, obviously. But like you'll get through like 8 to 10 of those. And then after that, it's just like, okay, whatever he's vibing with.
Yeah.
And like, okay, well, this outside zone works. So let's try another variation of this outside zone to see if they haven't seen it yet.
I always thought, and this might be very dumb, but
there's no dumb questions.
There's no dumb questions. I never understood, like, if a team is really good with their opening script, just run it in reverse. Just be like 1 through 15 and then just 15 through 1.
You're not wrong.
They won't be able to figure it out.
You're not wrong.
And then just do it again.
And just go back the other way?
Just keep zigzagging.
That would make it way easier. I don't have to know 15 plays as opposed to 100.
Yeah, just run 15 plays so well that they can't stop it.
There's something about that where you just want to let your players play at their highest level and not think at all.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever do the thing where you run the same play like 10 times in a row, different variations of it, just to like take the soul out of the other team?
We've had a couple games, like we've had 2 games versus the Seattle Seahawks where we ran like power load 5 straight times to win the game.
Yeah.
And we didn't change anything. We just literally ran like 2 tight ends, Kyle Juszczyk in a wing, and we just ran power down these guys' throats. And it was one of the most satisfying moments of my career.
I love it whenever that happens.
But we do have plays where it's like it's the exact same play, but like it's a different motion or it's a mildly different formation. So it looks different and it could be a different play, but just kidding, it's the same exact play.
Yeah, we've been gassing you up a lot today. We've been talking a lot of. We're doing a promo for you essentially here.
Are you about to humble me?
I'm gonna I'm gonna ask you to humble yourself. I think that's the
in.
most important trait that you can have
For sure.
as a football player. You never truly arrive. There's always something you can improve on.
Yeah.
When was the last time you got in the game? When was the last time somebody just ate your lunch?
Ooh. Dude, JJ Watt's last game of his career, like we're playing the Cardinals. And like, JJ can just do whatever he wants to do.
Except evade Darren Ravel. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like he's in a 5 technique. So like it's in between me and Trent Williams. He's in that gap. And we get to the line of scrimmage and like he's looking at me and me and Trent are talking and like, we're calling out our call. And like JJ looks at me and goes, "You're in a gap scheme again, aren't you?" And I was like, no. And this guy takes like 1 step. I go to get him and he just hits me in the back of the head, throws me to the ground, swim move. And luckily my other tight end like kind of caught him on the hip. He didn't make the tackle, but he did it to me like 3 times that game. And he was like, "I still got it." I was like, "Yes, JJ, you can do anything you want, man. Like, relax."
amazing.
I was like, "Relax, man. Chill." But he said happy birthday to my grandma, so it was totally fine.
Oh, yeah,
that's
that's so
nice.
JJ.
Yeah, it was super nice.
That's so JJ.
Yeah.
Just beat the shit out of you and be like, also, I'd like to wish your grandmother a happy birthday.
He
She's
was
a
waving to
special
her. He was like,
human
"Oh,
being.
hey." I was like, "Oh, you know what? It's all right."
Come on, JJ.
No, so it was fun though. Playing JJ in his last game was pretty sick.
Yeah, that is sick. Okay, so sell us on Brock Purdy because
Sure, what do you want me to sell on?
Well, he was a much debated topic of
Really?
Is he good or is it the system? Because you have to admit Kyle Shanahan does coach in a way that most quarterbacks would have success.
Sure.
Was there a moment, maybe a play, a game where you're like, no, this isn't just the system. Brock Purdy actually is a guy.
Yes. Honestly, his first game, we're playing Miami. Jimmy gets hurt. Purdy comes in, and Miami decided to zero blitz us like 5 straight times. And it was his first 3rd down in. They ran cover 0, 2 guys completely free, and he hit me like it was 3rd and 7.
Yeah.
Hit me on a perfect play right down the middle. And I was like, all right, you can play a little bit. And then the next 3rd down, they did it again, and he hit like Debo on a play. And I was like, all right, like, and sitting in cover 0 and being able to hit that. And like, we were telling you like, hey, this is the cover 0 route to hit this guy. But to be able to step up in a pocket knowing that you're about to get hit by a blitzing Mike linebacker and there's nothing you can do about it, that takes some balls.
I remember that sequence, and I was like, I think he can actually play at this level. And there's like a back and forth give and take that you have to do because he's playing in a great system, a system that's quarterback friendly, but also like no disrespect to Iowa, they don't score a lot of touchdowns on offense.
Iowa State.
Oh, Iowa State. Sorry.
That's little brother.
My mistake.
brother.
The state of Iowa doesn't score.
Yeah.
So
You're
many
not
touchdowns
entirely wrong
sometimes.
there.
Yeah.
No, but like I think one of the coolest things with Brock is that like you can just kind of see his savviness in the pocket too. Like he's got really good pocket awareness. Like he played 48 games in college, so like he knows how to play the quarterback position.
Yeah, Brocktober. Every October he would be awesome.
Yeah, so it's like, and then another thing I love about Brock is like quarterback, like players that have like had success but have also failed. Right, like in college, like he had 2 pretty not great years, like his last 2 years of college, and so like it humbles you. But like to be able to come back from failure and then play at a high level, you got grit and like you know how to play the game. And so like that's one of my favorite things about Brock. And like granted, like he didn't really fail too much in the NFL. He went 8-0 and like just got the Niners super red hot. But he's got a lot of intangibles and like he's fantastic in the huddle too. He's stepping in there and like the quarterback gives the energy for the play. Like if your quarterback comes there and he looks nervous, you're kind of like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Just give the ball but like you didn't really feel that with Brock. It was just like he had a handle on things and he had a confidence to him. And there's certain things you can't really coach.
Yeah. Are you going to be a professional wrestler when you retire? I know you want to be.
I'm open to all opportunities.
It's a lot of work.
I was actually looking at being a podcaster.
Okay.
No,
that's the
saturated.
hardest business there is.
Yeah, I know. It's really hard on your body, isn't
We've
it?
flushed out the weakest of society. Meghan Markle, see ya. She can't do it. She can't hack.
She couldn't do it weekly, man.
Yeah.
That's a grind.
Actually, that's what we do this on this podcast where, how she had somebody that asked the questions and we overdub all her questions later. We do that with Billy. Billy asks all the questions and then we come in.
If you're listening to this right now, Billy has already
wrote
asked all these questions.
Yeah. We already went through this. This is all recorded.
Yeah.
Okay, this is one that is totally not a Billy question. How sweet is it to be in the NFL?
So cool.
Yeah, good question, Billy.
Thanks, Bill. That's a great question. Yeah, no, being in the NFL is super sick. I don't know why everybody doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you?
Good point.
Seriously,
It's a good point.
Is that something you ever think about? Is like you wake up in the morning, you're like, I'm a fucking NFL player. That rocks.
Hey, George, what are you going to do today? I'm going to go down to my gym. I'm going to work out, and then I'm off for the rest of the day and just, maybe watch some film. But I'm done because my season doesn't start until July.
Yeah. Could you pull LeBron and write a letter to your younger self, thanking your future self for being great at football? What would you say to little Kittle when he gets into the NFL, day one of training camp? What would you tell him?
Oh, dude. I don't know if I would tell him anything. I would just let him do what he was doing.
Just
It worked out pretty well for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just enjoy it, which I think I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed every single day. Like, we started our season 0-9 as a rookie, and I still had fun every single day, even though we sucked.
You're a psycho. You are a football psycho. That's
I had so
the
much fun, dude.
definition of it. All right, hypothetical.
Ooh, I love these.
Okay, and obviously this isn't going to happen, but let's just say it is. Your dad is here. He's a beast. We've already talked to him. He might be writing us a letter for the start of Grit Week.
He should.
I think your dad could still kick your ass.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Because I think that you would get to a point where like, I can't kick my dad's ass, and he would be like, I sense weakness, and then he would just fuck you up.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's
so
fair.
do you think like if hypothetically you had to fight to the death, I think I'm taking your dad.
To the death?
To the death.
I think I would do my best to kill him then.
You think you can kill your dad?
He's raised me in that way.
You think you could? He would be proud of you.
He would be proud of me.
Like you did it. You
Yeah,
finally,
you
as
finally
you're
did it.
strangling him to death. You're like, finally, son.
He would,
Everything I
he would
taught
be
you.
smiling like, yes,
Yeah, I've done my job.
I've done my job.
That's every parent's dream is to one day be killed by their own son.
It's just like a movie. It's like Succession.
It's like the opposite of Oedipus complex. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. I got one last question. It's Rhoback question. Promo code TAKE. 20% off first purchase. Q-zips, polos, joggers, hoodies, shirts, shorts, everything. Rhoback.com. Promo code TAKE. Iowa football.
Ooh, what about it?
What do you think about this year? Are they going to score over under 150 points on offense?
Total?
What was the total last year? It was something. It was in the hundreds, I think.
It was probably like 1120.
I think
Yeah.
was it Caitlin
By our
Clark
defense?
scored more points
In the Final Four.
in the Final
Yeah,
Four
something like
than
that.
Iowa
Is that
football
crazy?
did all season. Yeah.
Isn't she great?
She's the best.
Yeah, she was so excited to watch. Over under 150.
150 offensive points.
What's the average of that? Is that 12 a game?
That's
25 a game. Sorry.
Yeah, that's like somewhere around 12 a game.
Was it 12 games? Right.
Yeah.
Times 10 and oh yeah. I think we're gonna average like 15 a game.
Whoa.
I mean,
that's explosive.
That will get you guys to 9
No,
wins.
but I'm
but
taking
then
into
you add in
account.
obviously the pick six.
No, so
Yeah,
like out of the
you
12
get
games, we're gonna have at least six pick sixes,
some punt blocks.
some pump blocks, and that's why we're gonna get over 15.
It is.
No, I will say though, we got a quarterback that can move. We got who's played a little bit, so like that will be exciting.
Yep.
Hopefully that's better. Hopefully our O-line, they're like they've all played now. Like 'cause last year we were at all freshmen and they were getting brutalized. So hopefully it's a little bit better this year.
But that's also like because Iowa and Wisconsin play a very similar brand of football. It's tough to watch sometimes. It actually is like good though for the soul because it basically says like how much do you love football? Do you love football enough that you can watch an offense never score?
Do you love football enough where
Yeah.
it can be 9-6
Yeah.
and you're satisfied with the
Right.
win?
Do you love football enough that like going into the game you need a pick six to win this game?
That's amazing.
It's really the test of true football fandom.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes Iowa, Wisconsin so great.
Yeah.
It's because like you have to be such a fan.
Yeah, you have to know that
You have
like,
to love football.
Yeah, we were recounting the game that I was at that you were in 2013 when it was not a
2015.
joke. 2015, it was not a joke that like I was watching the game at Camp Randall being like, I hope Wisconsin can pin Iowa like at the 5-yard line with a punt so that way we can get a punt back and not have to get a first down to kick a field goal.
You guys had 4 turnovers that game too. Like,
So bad.
like we had a corner have 2 picks.
It was.
You guys fumbled 2 balls.
It was just trading punts to see who can inch
it was-
closer and closer to field goal range.
It was so brutal.
That's football, baby. But if you can't love football at that, then you don't deserve like Chiefs Rams a few years ago.
oh, yeah, it wasn't that exciting.
Yeah, right.
Are you guys? Is Iowa TEU the real TEU?
Yeah. I do think that. I mean,
I'd agree.
if you look at like especially active guys, like last 10 years, I think Iowa's pretty good. I mean, Dallas Clark, me, Hawkinson, Laporta's going to be fantastic. I mean, I think Laporta's the best tight end in the draft class. I think Lyons got his complete steal. I like the other tight ends too. But like I spent 2 weeks training with Sam Laporta, and like the way he moves.
He's got the dog.
Oh yeah, he's got the dog. He's kind of quirky. He's kind of goofy too. Like he's going to fit in well.
Do you know right away if a guy's got the dog in him? How quickly is the test? Is it just an eye test?
Well, like when you train with somebody, whether it's like in the weight room or like running routes with them, and like things that I look for is when you're running, do you have a forward lean? Like, can you get out and like you're still accelerating through 10 yards, or do you stand straight up and you look like a brick wall, just kind of moving slowly? Not everybody. A lot of people look like that. So he's got a nice forward lean and he's got great hips.
Wait,
if we're being honest.
So are you going to be a football coach?
At some point.
So what level?
It depends, kids and stuff like that. Who knows? Like,
but do you think maybe like college, NFL?
I think recruiting sounds terrible, doesn't it? Doesn't that sound
Terrible.
awful? Especially now where it's like, all right, hey, here's $25,000 coming to Iowa. What is that?
But you're a big enough name where I think you just get on the phone.
Yeah.
You just be like, call up a young tight end. Hey, do you want to play at tight end university?
Although you need to win a ring, just so
Thank
you
you.
know.
No, 100%.
That is like
that helps a lot.
Like Saban just drops his rings on the table. It's like, hey,
winning
you
a Super Bowl
wanna
would be really cool. I'd be like, hey,
yeah. See
Come
this?
here.
You want to take a look at my Super Bowl ring? Yeah.
come on down.
Yeah.
Come on down.
You guys should get a ring though, like just for being the team that on paper should have won the Super Bowl for like
You guys would have won
4 out of the
last year, right?
5 years.
You guys would have won the Super Bowl
because you
last
guys
year,
are
for
the
sure.
best team.
I believe so. I mean, like, hey, like, I go into every game with confidence that we're going to win the game. So, like, yeah, we lose sometimes. And I'm just like, and then you go back and watch the film, like, yeah, I mean, that's why we lost. Like, turnovers, didn't play well, couldn't make a clutch catch, something like that. And, or at the end of the day, too, like, NFL players are pretty good and everyone has great players. But, like, if you don't go in a game with confidence, then what are you doing in the NFL? So, yeah, I believe I'm going to win every game that I'm going to go in. Is that realistic? For some people, no. For me,
But it
why
felt
not?
like it was this year.
Yeah, I know. It felt like we won 12 straight
That
games.
was-
Like,
that
why
was
would I
Did
mean.
lose to the Bears though.
That was mean.
I
With,
didn't play. Not my fault.
Okay.
No, like, dude, like, yeah, I couldn't play against the Bears, dude. I love them too much.
Yeah, that's true.
I had to cut them some slack, dude. That
it was
Week
fucked
one,
up.
though.
It was fucked up what you did against the Commanders this year too.
was so fun.
It was why? How is that fun to just continue to slit a team's throat after they're already dead?
Like 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. There's nothing wrong with that, dude.
it
It's
was-
so much fun. And
felt
we
mean.
Our first touchdown was a wide receiver run for 75 yards.
Yeah.
Lead blockers,
Yeah.
George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Actually, I watched that cut up last night because that's
Good.
good.
I'm
That's gonna
glad.
be on the tight end you teach tape.
Do this. Yeah, you're just like do this.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
a 75-yard touchdown.
Just do this really well.
Wait, one last question. You have the record for most yards in a half.
I do.
For a tight end.
Yep.
210. This is like 2018 or something.
Yes, it was.
What was that halftime conversation? Were you like, holy shit, that was
I
happened?
I sat down because, like, again,
That's a lot of running.
we were like 2-10 at that point. So like no playoffs, no nothing. And I sat down and like Garrett Selleck, my vet tight end, looks at me and goes, dude, you have 210 yards. I was like, what?
This halftime.
No way I do. And they're like, yeah, you need 4 yards to break a record. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. And it didn't happen. Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah. What's up with
Yeah,
that?
what the hell?
He apologized to me after the game. I'm like, I don't know what that's going to do for me now, though.
Yeah,
Thanks,
right.
dude.
Because
Nah.
at halftime, I was doing the math. He's going to get 400 yards receiving.
Yeah.
I was like, just give me a 10-yard stick, man, like a 10-yard branch route. I'm good. But like, I don't think I ran another route the rest
But
of the
that's kind of cool to be like 210 yards in the first half. It's
crazy.
And that's it.
My job was done.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to reset. We're going to do a Mount Rushmore with George. He's going to be on Team Billy and Jake for this one.
Is your name actually George? Have you ever called yourself Greg?
Yeah, I use my name tag as Greg.
Yeah.
It's, however you guys want to identify me as, I'll be George or Greg.
Well, it got so confusing at one point where I was like,
forgot.
is his name Greg?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? So we confused ourselves.
No, it's actually wild. Where was I? I was like doing something in San Francisco, and I had a fan call me Jeff. Swear to God. He's like, hey, Jeff Kittle. I was like, it's not even close. Yeah. Just pick Greg or George.
Yeah,
Like,
right. You can,
It's not that hard. And you guys are offending my mom. She's back there right now. And she's like, his name's George.
Yeah, George is a good, strong name. Jeff Kittle, that's a quarterback name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have gone up to Kyle and be like, Jeff's ready to go in the second half of the season.
Oh, yeah. I love
Jeff.
quarterbacks.
Yeah. Go off. All right. So, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to do Mount Rushmore with George, and he's going to be on Team Billy. So,
Let's go.
We'll take a quick break.
Break.
Before we get to Mount Rushmore with George Kittle, it's brought to you by the Chevy Silverado. You got to be athletic. You got to be fast. You have to have some smarts. You need the perfect balance of size and speed, and it also helps if a tight end is good looking. That's where the Silverado EV comes into play. That thing is a beautiful truck. I look at that truck, I say, fellas, I bite my lip. That is a sexy truck. That's where the first ever Silverado EV comes in. It's packed with power and capability. Chevy trucks are known for that. The Silverado EV is a boundary-breaking game changer that does things other EV pickups don't. When we were in Arizona and they pulled up in that Silverado, it was the Sopranos Silverado ad that we put out right around the big game. The Silverado just turned every head in that parking lot. It was crazy. This thing is a beautiful truck. Thank you, Chevy. Thank you, Chevy Trucks, for the partnership. It's a perfect connection between the Silverado family and Tight End University. The Silverado is the tight end of trucks. It's a look great truck. It's a drive great truck. It's a perfect automobile. I want to get a Silverado. Chevy, if you're listening right now, send your boy a Silverado. I'm in the market for a truck right now, Chevy. I would love to drive a Silverado full time. I love it. When I rented a car here, I drove a Silverado. That's how much I believe in it. It's great for errands, great to drive around town. We love Chevy. Head to Chevy.com, learn more. And now, here's the Mount Rushmore of best football plays of all time with our good friend George Kittle.
Okay, Mount Rushmore time. It is a special Mount Rushmore. I can't believe we've never done this one. It is the Mount Rushmore of football plays. So iconic football plays can be college or NFL. We have very special guest George Kittle. We're still in his lair, his gym.
The barn.
It is George and Billy, which
barn.
Billy is so excited about. And before we do the Mount Rushmore, Hank is here as well.
Yeah.
George, anything to say to Cowboy fan Hank?
Hey, how many times has Dak Prescott been on the show?
Oh, good question.
Once.
And it was the
It was
worst
a
interview
great,
we ever
great
did.
interview.
Disagree.
Fantastic
I like
interview.
Dak. No, he's a good guy.
He's a
I like
good guy.
Dak.
Yeah,
Great
but
interview.
bad interview.
Have you met any other? Have you ever been to Dak's home?
No.
Nope.
No. Invited to Tight End University. Have you ever been invited to Quarterback University?
No.
I have a question as well, George.
Oh, I don't really
Oh,
care
okay.
about
When
your
you're
question.
answering questions,
Yeah,
go
no,
ahead.
we're not really
Ask your
answering any
question.
questions.
Ask your question.
I
sure.
get all this guff for being a Cowboys fan momentarily for a playoff run before I even knew they were
What
playing
kind of playoff
49ers.
run was that?
I was the only one on this podcast that was rooting for George in the NFC Championship game. Fact or fiction?
Okay, but I made a bet
no,
on the
I-
Philadelphia Eagles in August.
Also, your bets
Literally
are
no
valid.
chance
My bets
that
are
you
not.
can tell. You made a bet when you basically had the path. You're like, they're going to beat the Cowboys going to beat the Bucks, and then they're going to play the 49ers and beat the 49ers.
Wait, Hank, are you
49ers
deflecting
Yes,
your
he is.
wearing a Cowboys jersey by trying to throw them under the bus?
Exactly.
No,
That's
I
exactly what it is.
also, Hank, I
What are
think
we
you
doing,
need to check
Hank?
the tapes because
I
I
thought we're
don't
just
think
friends,
that I
man.
was rooting against
That's
the
all I thought it
49ers.
was.
I'm wearing your cleats. These
I
are going to be
made
your
you wear
good
the
luck
cleats.
No, you specifically were like, the Cowboys are going to beat the 49ers, and my good friend George Kittle, former good friend.
Former
Is
good
what you
friend.
said.
You know, we'll work on it though. Like we'll get some reps in. We'll work out together. You know, hopefully we can rebuild the bridge that's been burnt to the
I
ground.
think Kyle even wore part of my take sweatshirt.
Yeah,
that
he
week.
did.
Right in your face, Hank.
Hank just likes to root against our friends. That's his favorite
False
thing to do.
fiction.
Who did you root for when our good friend Jared Goff was in the Super Bowl?
The Patriots.
I rest my case.
Yeah,
I
okay.
rest my case.
Yep. For sure, Hank.
Yeah.
No, I'll just hold on to that one for the rest of my life.
It gives
Use
me
it as
motivation.
fuel.
I like it.
Yeah, you know,
I'll win you back.
That's
Just
the,
wait.
That's the
Just
chip on my
wait.
shoulder this year.
Yes.
Is Hank.
Yes, Hank,
Just
right
Hank.
there. Hank being a hater. All right, so you
Crazy.
guys, Billy
Hey,
and
Bill.
George.
Bill's a nice guy.
Billy is a nice guy.
I didn't want to say it at the time, but I did bet the Niners.
Okay, nice.
I couldn't
Sick.
say it. I couldn't say it at the time. But
Yeah, no, that's
Thank you.
good.
Max was saying he was going to cut his hair into a mohawk like yours if you won a Super Bowl.
I didn't say that because then you would have to get past the Eagles, and I'm not going to root for that.
Oh.
He's an
So
Eagles
that's
fan.
that's just.
Well, could you just root for my success?
I will root for your success.
That's fine. We'll just go there. Just say, hey, George, I hope you play really well, but the rest of your team.
I hope you
doesn't.
guys run through the Eagles every single time you play them.
I will root
Is
for
that,
your
is, that,
Kool-Aid
is,
man.
that, is that Patriots or Cowboys fan, Hank?
No,
talking?
that's Kittle fan.
Oh, okay, cool.
Kittle fan. Yeah.
That's fine.
But what happens? Are the Niners playing your Cowboys this year?
Week 5.
Oh,
Who you
that will
root
be a
for,
big
Hank?
test, Hank.
Yeah, it will.
It will be a test.
Just wait. I'll win you back.
Okay.
I can't wait.
All right. So Mount Rushmore of football plays, college and NFL. You guys have the first pick.
Oh, hell
Snake
yes.
draft. So it's you guys, then us, then Hank and Max, and back around.
Okay.
That's the order.
Yeah.
right?
I misheard.
Yeah, Billy
go
Billy
first.
and George, and then us.
House rules.
Wait, no. If we're in the studio, if he's taking Jake's place,
Now we're confused.
It would go
We've
Hank.
confused ourselves.
It would go
I think
Hank.
you just
Okay,
told me
yeah,
I was going
all
first,
right,
but
all right,
I don't
House
care.
rules. We
I
gotta
actually
go
didn't want
first.
to.
Wait,
four.
oh wait, no, you're right. You're right.
So it's Hank
You are going
first.
first. Hank's
Yeah,
going first.
Hank-
Sorry,
wait,
you guys
how?
are going
No,
third.
it's
It's my house.
You guys are going
It's
third.
his house.
But we're-
All
you
right,
have
fine.
to
You know what?
maintain
house.
integrity.
No, it's his house.
It's his
My
house.
All right, you guys are
Yeah.
going
Fine.
first, then Hank, then us, and then back around.
This is under
If we
protest.
get
That's
if we lose
I
and
don't
get
care,
third
Max.
place, George will have to come to the
It's fine.
isolation
It's
chamber.
his house. Those are
That's
his
a
rules.
good point, Billy.
Okay.
If we lose, he
first
has to
place.
come for like an hour to the chamber,
I love
To
Chambers.
the what?
to the isolation chamber.
Is that where Aaron Rodgers
yes.
went?
Yeah,
Yes.
That's where Aaron went.
It's kind of like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like
Sounds
if we get a
Well,
ring, you get a
will
ring.
be playing in his football season. at that
This
point.
make
is
it
pretty
work.
important.
Yeah,
This
okay,
is
all right,
yeah,
all right.
You
We'll
can
make it
zoom
work.
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can't talk.
I'm sure your wife and family would be happy if for your bye week you decide to come to the Pardon My Take studios and sit in a chamber with Billy and Jake.
Yeah, well, Claire's not here.
Yeah,
She'll
that's
approve
fine.
it.
She's fine. She's fine.
Thanks, honey.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you guys go first, then Hank and Max, then us.
There's so many good football plays.
There are so many good football plays.
Would you like the honors?
Yeah, I would love to. Our first play is the catch. Joe Montana, Dwight Clark.
Okay.
Set the course of 49ers history.
We decided it was a little overrated.
It's a little mid.
No,
Is it?
no.
Chris
no.
Berman makes the catch.
No,
Yeah.
49ers.
I mean, like, the Cowboys were the dominant team
True.
of the decade, and then the Niners finally won and then went on a complete run.
But when you talk about the catch, you can't tell the story of the catch without who was there to witness the catch.
Tom Brady.
Chris Berman elevates every football moment that he's a part of.
He's yeah.
Fair.
But you don't get that he's not part of the catch.
It doesn't
He's part of
matter.
the- no,
the
no,
history
he's
of the
part
part
catch.
of the catch.
the covering of the catch.
history of the
if you-
catch.
If we're doing best moments covered by journalists, the catch would be number one.
I don't
Chris
know.
Berman.
No, that
No,
is
see, now
no,
you're
no,
just
no.
trying to talk down ours because it's your podcast.
No, that's not what we do.
all they
That's
do.
not what
That's
we
all
do.
they do.
We
That's
call
all
it
they do.
straight
You're
out.
fitting perfectly in the role of Jake Marsh.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're doing. You podcaster guys.
No, it's
so
a good
gritty.
pick. It's a good pick. It's an iconic play. It's a good pick.
I will go with probably the most important play in NFL history. There was a hard narrative forming against the Patriots. They'd lost their past 2 Super Bowls. Everyone was saying that Tom Brady couldn't get the big one.
He literally called it.
Malcolm Butler interception against the Seahawks.
Okay.
Most. I mean, it was the greatest Super Bowl win of all time. The most unexpected Super Bowl win of all time.
Okay.
Ruined
all
the
right.
Seahawks.
How many
Was it
point
though?
favorites were you guys?
Hold on.
Was it really?
No,
was
that one
almost a
was like
safety.
they were
People
only like a
forget that.
3-point favorite.
Yeah,
in
but
that
still,
game.
Hank
Yeah.
said it's the most
I mean, we're not-
unexpected
who
Super
ca-
Bowl
well,
victory
no,
of
that's
all
good.
time.
That's all you
I think
know.
that's
Who's
a
the
good
betting
pick.
favorite of every
Hey,
single
that's
pick?
a good pick. That's
Yeah.
a good pick.
Thank
Is
you.
it our pick?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will do the most improbable Super Bowl win of all time and the most iconic catch of all time, David Tyree's helmet catch.
Whoa, is it called the
That was
catch?
Incredible. No, it's called
it's
the
the
helmet
helmet
catch.
catch.
Yeah.
I feel like the
It's
catch is
helmet.
probably a
you
little
know-
more iconic than
The helmet
agree.
catch
The
is
helmet catch is-
Yeah.
the
Dwight
helmet
Clark
ca-
jumped 6
You
feet
know
to
ex-
catch that ball.
like
in the
when
back
you-
end
when
zone
you
with
Who's
say-
no
putting down
gloves.
who's pick now?
When you say no, I'm
who's
just
putting down
asking. When
who's
you
pick?
ask
tight
about
ends?
what's the most iconic catch in NFL history, it's the catch.
I mean, there's also a lot that
Yeah,
went
it is
into
what
the
it
catch
is.
beside the actual catch.
Yeah.
It was Eli Manning somehow escaping being sacked, chucking it downfield, and with
Patriots
everything that's on line.
perfect
Patriots
season,
undefeated season,
17-point
That's the
favorites.
most improbable Super Bowl
It was
win
a good,
of
it
all
was a
time.
good, it was a good play. It was a
Okay.
Decent
Decent.
catch.
Okay.
Hey, it was a tight end though, so I love it. Great call.
Okay.
Okay, so what do we want to do for number 2 here? Because that's a great. We can go 6, number 6 that we have on the list. We could go number 9 or number 10. I think those are the big
Time's up.
ones.
I like
House
6
rules.
or 10. You make the call.
Pick 10.
6 or 10. 10 feels like we might
A reach?
be able to.
We can get it later.
Six,
Yeah,
6 is
okay.
iconic.
Vince Young, 4th down touchdown in the national championship game.
That was sick.
Maybe
fuck.
maybe the
He was
most
gonna
incredible ending to, like everybody was saying, USC, they were kind of like the Patriots in that game. Is this the best college football team of all time?
It's one
Vince
of-
Young just stepped up and he just put his nuts on the table.
And it's probably
That was cool.
It's probably decided as probably the best college football game of all time, or at least up there. And it's the seminal play, 25 seconds left. Keith Jackson on the call. Vince Young's got the corner. He's got it. Unbelievable play.
Yep.
I don't think casuals like it.
You
Yep.
literally just got upset
point,
because
Billy.
you knew
I don't think it's
that
do well
you
on the
wanted
graphic.
that pick.
I like.
He doesn't like the graphic.
I don't remember.
All-time-
I don't remember
all-time
what that looks
play.
like.
4th
I think
and
it was
5.
6 when that happened. Like,
game
they couldn't-
game on
they
the
couldn't
line.
stop. That was a great
national
game, too.
championship.
That
What's
wasn't
your,
bad at
what's
all.
your target audience, Big Cat?
Our target audience is us.
Football guys.
I want to make. I
I know,
want
but
to just.
like age-wise, what's your age demographic?
Oh, okay, that's funny.
Good
Guys who
question.
picked the catch.
yeah.
Well, because everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows what that is
Nice
because it's a
try,
history
nice
lesson.
try.
It's a
No,
history
it's-
lesson.
Everybody knows
That's
Vince
like
Young's
the
run on
catch,
4th down.
the Bible.
It's
It's
one of the
like-
most iconic
Yeah.
plays in college
What's your
football.
guys'
Yeah,
next
it's
pick
history.
when
It's like-
Rutgers did the first forward pass.
That was pretty cool.
Okay.
That was cool.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue about
I don't know,
history
man.
when you pick the catch.
I mean, like, That's for old. Yeah, I mean,
So
like,
I don't know about
remember
you guys. You guys sound like you're pandering a little bit to the audience.
No,
When
yeah.
me and Big Cat come up with these lists, we just say the Holy Spirit moves us to make
Yeah,
this
off the
football.
dome.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
speak for the Holy Spirit.
That's
Yeah.
off the dome.
Wow, that's
yes.
cocky.
That was
Okay.
that was a good. It was a really good game. And I think the
Thank you.
game kind of makes the play scene, but it was really just it was
makes
a QB
the game.
scramble.
No,
It was-
it was
it was-
the game was so good. It makes the most important play of that game seem worse.
Yeah, I don't know.
What
I
are
think
you talking
you guys
about?
are reaching.
A 4th and 5 QB scramble touchdown for the win.
Hanks
for the
talked himself
national
into circles.
championship.
Without context, it was a lame play.
Okay.
Exactly.
Without
I have
context, it's
another
a
play
lame
from
play.
that game that I think is cooler.
Okay.
Yep. And I have the most iconic. Me and Max have the most iconic college football play of all time: the kick six.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Was that for the
decent
national championship?
In Alabama, yes.
I think it's kind of mid.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't
Yeah,
think
I mean,
kicking is very football-like.
It's also
so why
just
is
a-
it happening?
it's a
Well,
football
think
player.
you
it was,
understand what
it
the
was
kick
the
six
longest
is.
kick return.
I know, I do.
Kicking is, but kick returns.
The
Billy?
that had nothing to do with
just
the
because
kick, actual
kicking's
kicking.
involved. Like Saban only put out linemen. I mean,
You could
what
actually-
he did wasn't that cool. I could have done that.
You could make the argument that was just a really bad play because Alabama just didn't do their job.
It was
Yeah.
it was really
Yeah.
good play.
The kick
no,
should
no, it
never
wasn't
have
good at
happened.
all.
Yeah.
I think
Seems
if the,
kinda
I think
lucky
if the, I
because
think
the
if the
guys covering
NFL
it
is
were a bunch
running,
of offensive
I
linemen.
mean the NCAA is running a highlight package, like that's probably getting top
And
billing
Vin-
over
anyone
Vince
is-
Young.
Vince Young is
No, the kick six is definitely before
Anyone who
Vince Young.
ran over a
Vince
4.8
Young's just a
could have done that.
scramble. It's a 5-yard play. Kick six. Kick six.
It wasn't a 5-yard
no, it was
play.
4th and 5, but then he
But
ran
it was
all the
like
way
a
into the end
15-yard
zone.
touchdown.
Okay,
yeah.
15 or 100. Fact, which is higher?
And
think it was like
everybody knew that
109
Vince Young was going to
too.
run the ball, and they still couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you have two.
Oh, well,
Yeah, we can
our
go
first
back
one, we're going to go the Immaculate Reception.
Okay.
Another
so
story.
This is another
Iconic,
another
yeah.
guy's.
We'll bring it recent.
Yeah, going with our audience, target audience.
No, but
Well,
I
Billy,
mean,
who was in that
okay,
game?
but name it like it
What?
bounce
Who
up a
was in
dude's
that
face,
game?
fullback, just effort
Pittsburgh?
and grit,
Yeah.
runs up and catches it and runs
Yeah.
in for a touchdown.
Just so
to
we're
win.
clear, all the plays you guys are picking, the people aren't alive anymore.
no, but they're
And Odor
they're still,
Elders, dog.
Okay, yeah,
They're
I'm just
just
saying.
Are
They
you
were
disrespecting these people?
Well, there's also
They don't
these
know who's
plays.
Billy doesn't.
Wait, Billy, who was playing in the game?
Steelers,
And
Raiders.
Raiders.
oh man, I shouldn't have left them off the hook.
There's also only there's one camera angle of both of those plays that you guys have picked so far.
and it hit the
And?
ground.
And
It
Did
was,
it? But
was
that's
illegal.
like
It was a
those
missed call.
plays are gospel.
No, it's a good play. It's a good play.
we have
I'm
one
trying
more.
to be positive now.
Which one?
I
Same.
am. I'm
Same.
trying to. No, you're not, Hank.
This is our,
Complain about everything.
That's not positive.
You were on 3.
we're in 3.
What do you like better?
It's a shame Hank has to put down other people's picks to build his own up.
Crazy.
Whichever one you want to do, dog. This was kind of the start.
Yeah, yeah.
Our third one is the Tom Brady tuck versus the Raiders.
Tuck rule. Okay.
Iconic.
Changed the course of history.
Changed the course of history. Was it a fumble? Was it not?
It was not
Okay.
confirmed.
But that was a very important play that actually changed the NFL.
Okay.
And it started the Patriots dynasty.
I'm not gonna denigrate another man's pick anymore. I've tried to turn over a new leaf on this.
Doesn't seem
but
like
I would
it,
have
though.
a lot of material to work with if I wanted to.
I'm also not going to denigrate another
fine.
team's pick. I'll just say that my favorite football plays are plays that we have to watch in a replay booth for 10, 15 minutes in a row.
It's just an important play. You said iconic
Correct.
plays. and
Correct.
That is.
No, it is. It's a very
Snow.
important play.
There's snow.
Yeah. Listen, the snow was there and everything. I wouldn't put down your pick at all. But if I were, I would say that Adam Vinatieri's 2 field goals that he made in that game are better plays.
Yeah.
I mean,
But we're not going to
would they be there
denigrate
without
the
that
pick.
play, though?
But
Okay, so you're talking like important play.
You said iconic.
yeah,
Okay.
it's-
What do people talk about more? That tuck or Adam Vinatieri's kick?
Adam Vinatieri's kick.
I
No, that's-
disagree
I
entirely.
bring it up all the time.
Kicking isn't part of the game.
Okay.
They didn't make it 30 for 30 about the kick.
So what?
They didn't make it 30 for 30 about the kick.
Okay. We're not putting down your pick, so I don't know why we're even having this discussion.
Yeah, we're not.
Good
You
pick.
guys look handsome
great
today, though. I will say
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Hank.
We're gonna go. We're gonna keep the theme here, and we're gonna go with the Philly special.
Okay.
A common play that was so iconic that they named it after Philly, even though it's been a common
Built
play
a statue,
forever.
too, right?
It was
Yeah.
Clemson started it.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but
That
it's
was
so
good.
iconic that
Yeah.
they changed the name to just the Philly special, even though it was a common play.
You
for
love
a
that
long
play?
time. It's not. It's not plays we love. It's iconic plays.
What was your first pick?
The most
Also
iconic
an
play in
also
NFL
an
history.
iconic play.
All right. You love that play.
I love it.
Good
You love
pick.
that play.
I actually like that pick.
It is. Good
a great
pick.
pick.
Everyone's got good picks. We're doing a good job, guys. This draft is awesome.
I agree.
Okay.
Recent.
What do we want to do with number 3 here? We've got a lot
got
of
3
different
and
options
4.
we can go with.
We go 9.
Yeah, 9's pretty big. Mm-hmm. You want to go 9, and then do you want to do 8 to wrap it up? I love 8.
I think 8 might get shit on. I love it too.
It's such a good play.
The problem with
pander.
our picking is that we're the only like team that picks true to what we love.
Yeah.
Not like pandering.
Oh, I
trying
hate the
to
Philly
win.
special. Hank hates the Malcolm Butler play. What are we talking about here?
We're a team
Yeah.
here. It's not about I. It's about we.
Okay, let's lock in 9. We also
9-4.
Because it's college.
No.
Like
What
Francesa over here.
Yeah, it's 16 too. Or we go 14. That was just an unbelievable. That's just the best play.
Okay.
You want to do that?
Did you work
All
out
right,
the
I like
drainage?
that. All right.
Yeah, we did.
Our next pick, we're gonna go with because we're here in Nashville. We're gonna go with the Music City Miracle.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Music City Miracle.
Incredible play.
I mean, you
forward pass?
You
Yeah.
watch every
Nope.
game.
Illegal.
Nope. They reviewed it. It was not a forward pass.
Not
Some
a
guy
forward
did
pass.
the math. It was like
winking.
impossible for
You-
it to be.
Are you guys shitting on our pick?
No, I was just winking.
Who
Is
said
this
we
the
couldn't
greatest
shit on
math-
each
we are
plays, or
national.
is
Thank
this-
you, thank you.
No, that's a smart move by you.
I had it on the
guys.
It
list.
also is one of those plays that, like, if you're a football fan, you just always root for something like that to happen for your
100%.
team.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, well, come on, just one chance.
If you're watching the game, you're just like something crazy
Yeah,
happened.
it's happened before. It could happen again. Music City Miracle.
Great name too for it. Like Music City Miracle. It's got the alliteration.
It's catchy.
It's very catchy. You're always going to remember. Jeff Fisher was the architect of it.
Yeah.
You can't tell the story of football without Jeff Fisher.
It is
I
true.
think maybe we actually go 1.
Okay.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, it is
yeah.
like one of the coolest highlights
It is cool.
ever.
It is cool.
Do you think they'll?
I think the others are more like nostalgia driven.
Right.
This is just that fucking rock.
Yeah.
Cool. Go for that one.
Okay, number 1. Or I guess our 4th pick.
Fourth pick.
Number 1.
Sean Taylor in the Pro Bowl, leveling the punter.
It's a great fucking pick.
We're talking Pro Bowl.
Jacked up the
We're
punter.
talking Pro
All-time
Bowl.
play.
All-time
Oh
play.
my God!
funny.
I'll take- We're gonna throw a banger after the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
yeah, you guys.
he put the punter
All-time play.
into the surface
Put it on
of
the
earth.
graphic. Love it. I love this
The
pick.
punter tried to run a fake punt.
Who did he hit?
It was Brian Moorman,
Yeah.
who was
forgot.
at one time the fastest player in the NFL, if you can believe
One
that.
of the greatest hits
pretty
in NFL history. And it was in a Pro Bowl, which you're not supposed to hit.
Yeah.
He just
that's pretty
fucking jacked him up.
You crushed him.
Yes. You know, we say it.
That
you
looked
know
awful.
It. Yeah.
That would have hurt really bad.
Yes.
Yeah,
That would
yeah.
have hurt so bad.
Did hurt.
Fucking badass play. We're just doing a little of everything. We
Best
got a
football player of all time,
we got
Sean Taylor.
We got a iconic NFL play, iconic college football play, end of the game, Music City Miracle, and then the coolest hit ever. We have all
those
the
are-
plays. Listen, you guys did you go Google best plays and you look it up.
I wouldn't do that.
And you're like Franco Harris
Yeah.
in the
These-
catch. That's fine.
These are
That's
all
fine.
off the
Come
dome.
on.
Oh,
I'm a
these are off
Niner,
the dome,
man.
Billy.
These are
Bill-
off the
yeah.
dome.
The catch is like the first thing I ever 49ers drafted. The catch.
Yeah.
So I know
okay,
about that.
okay.
You guys got a top 20 college football play. We got the number 1, and we're about to take the number 2 most iconic football play of all time. Statue of Liberty, Boise State,
Wow.
Oklahoma.
That was on my list.
The definition of what makes
For
college
worst
football
picks.
great.
A bowl game
mid-major.
that means nothing.
That's funny.
It meant everything. What are you
Yeah, it
talking
does.
about?
Okay,
It was
all right.
one-
I mean, back then, the any of the
What bowl?
Fiesta Bowl.
Okay. Hank didn't know that.
I was
Hank,
about
who
to
are they
say
playing
Sugar Bowl.
against?
No, I wasn't.
Boise State against who?
Oklahoma.
Okay. All right.
I mean, truly the most.
I fell asleep during
legendary
that game, so
rivalry.
obviously not that cool.
I lost money on that game. I was like, how could Oklahoma ever lose?
The
to
proposal
Boise State?
after it was beautiful. It was what makes college football great.
Well, some people would say that the play before that play was more impactful when
That's
they ran
true,
the
the
design
lateral.
downfield lateral.
Yes.
than
Look at
the square.
lateral.
Hank doesn't know that play.
impactful plays are iconic.
No,
Well,
Hank
that's-
he doesn't remember what happened before that. He
Yeah.
just remembered, that guy from the cover of
Yeah,
the video
we're talking
game.
about highlight plays, iconic plays.
Okay.
I don't see that on the highlight
Not
bowl.
that
I see the
iconic.
Statue
So
of
you
Liberty.
guys were talking about Texas versus USC. There's another play from that I
True.
remember better.
Yep.
And that's when Reggie Bush broke off a long run and then lateraled it backwards.
Okay.
Turnover, crush all their momentum, and then allowed Vince Young to have his cool moment at the end of the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are picking 2 fumbles on your draft board.
They're iconic plays.
Okay, so
Could throw in the
you're
butt fumble
taking
there, too.
the lesser of the more impactful plays from
No.
that same game.
No, no,
Not to
no,
denigrate.
no.
Not to denigrate. No, it's
No,
good.
not
That's
to
a
denigrate.
good
We're
pick.
not
That's a
sitting on
good
any
pick.
picks.
USC
That-
running down. They have all the momentum in the
Yeah.
world, and Reggie Bush just
Would you
decides
say
to
that
lateral
that
it.
would be the most iconic Reggie Bush
I was
play?
gonna say Reggie Bush, Fresno State.
Or the Bush push? Also on there?
Oh, that's another good
The
play.
Bush push was a pretty big.
I'm saying that was one of
Billy's
my
got
favorite college
blanks
football
right
plays
now.
that I
No, I
remember.
know what it is.
Again, not denigrating your pick.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the best lateral from that game because Vince Young had a lateral in the first half, I believe.
But we're not
And what
denigrating. We're not
happened,
denigrating.
what happened on that play? Though? Did it
I
change
think-
the momentum of
yeah,
the
I think-
entire
I think
game?
they
and
No
scored.
let the
denigration.
team win?
I think they might have scored.
I know, like ours was a turnover.
Yeah, which
Defense wins
How many
championships.
points is a turnover worth?
Defense wins championships.
Okay.
Okay, so which ones did we miss? We had Let's
James
see.
Harrison, 99-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Oh, that's big. Yeah.
But
Doug
fumble.
Flutie,
Doug
Hail
Flutie,
Mary.
Hail Mary.
Ooh, that is a good one.
Stanford Band.
Yeah. I didn't want to go old again, though.
I wanted to put this one on the list because it might be my favorite football play of all time. Dan Connolly, 71-yard kickoff return on the Patriots. Offensive line.
yeah.
Wow. That's what Marty told me to do that.
That's a great
Great
pick.
play.
Go back, watch the highlight right now if you've never seen it before.
That's a great
big boy
play.
offensive lineman
I still know
recovers a
his name.
squib kick, takes it 71 yards. He covers it up with
the
two
5-yard
hands.
line.
Yeah.
And
He
then
ran
he
with two
breaks
hands
it
on the ball
outside.
for 50 yards.
Yeah.
Well, no, so he goes two hands on the ball because he thinks he's about to get tackled, but he's
whole
just
time.
blazing speed, breaks through, cuts the outside, puts the ball in his outside arm like
So
a fucking
smart.
running back, stiff arms people. I will never say another bad word about John Kuhn, the football player, but I'm so mad that he chased that guy down and tackled him at the end of that play because that
Why
would
would
have
he do
been
that?
it would have been the best play in the history of
Ever.
sports if he had scored a touchdown.
Yes.
Julian Edelman against the Falcons deserves some love.
Crabtree versus Texas was on our list.
Ooh, that was cool as well.
All-time iconic game.
Richard Sherman versus Crabtree.
Yep. Michael Vick versus the Vikings, overtime, his run.
I think you brought that one up too.
That one
Deshaun
was
Jackson,
sick.
Miracle at the Meadowlands.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
had
that was
that.
on his
I
list
said
as
that one.
well.
Hank vetoed it, but
That was a great one too.
That would have been a great pick.
If it
Max.
wasn't a regular season game,
well, it was to get the Eagles to the playoffs, wasn't it?
no, that we were just down like 20. I think it was
Yeah.
24 points in the fourth quarter.
Okay,
I
there
don't-
was
It
Mike-
was at the end of the season though.
Michael
Yes.
Vick throwing a bomb to Deshaun Jackson randomly, and that
They
was
had the
it.
Monday Night
First game,
Football.
Yeah,
the first game of the first play.
Eagles.
Yeah, we remember that game.
That was cool.
A lot
Patriots,
of us
Jets,
remember
Randy
that game.
Moss, triple coverage.
Yeah.
Jerome
I forget that Tom
Simpson.
Brady and Randy Moss played together. How cool!
It's great.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Jerome Simpson front flip into the end zone where he stuck the landing.
Doug Flutie helicopter was if I was going to
John
go
Elway?
old.
John
John
Elway.
Elway.
John Elway.
Yeah, same thing.
You know, ball.
The Dez no catch,
There's no catch.
just because it was weird.
Oh, Odell Beckham.
Odell
One-handed
Beckham.
grab.
Oh yeah,
Could you do that?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's the
Why not?
gloves, right?
Just throw me the ball.
Yeah.
Some cool
Jadavian
happened.
Clowney.
Michigan.
Most overrated play of all time.
Hey, no, so I went on
time.
bus with the boys. We asked Taylor about it because he was the left tackle, Lawan, and he did not do what he was supposed to do, even though he thinks he did. But if you look at gap scheme, he completely left the tight end on an island alone versus that gap guy Taylor's supposed to help out on. Left him on an island. Super tough.
If he just had his helmet strapped on, no one even knows
Okay,
that
the
play
only reason I
happened.
would
No,
say,
but
Hank,
the
the only reason I would
pickup,
say it's not overrated is, and you can't, there's context to the play. The fact that they didn't get the first down and then, like,
The next
South
play.
Carolina didn't get the first down by like an inch. They were pissed off. That was the next play for Michigan.
it
So
was-
it was a turnover on
bad
down.
call.
No, backward. It was Michigan.
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah.
gave him
Yeah.
a first down, and they were like
Oh,
2
yes,
inches
that's
away.
right, that's right.
Yeah, they were like super short on it.
It was
Yeah,
ball
and
don't
then
lie.
ball
It's the
don't
number
lie.
one ball don't
Yes.
lie play of all time.
Fair.
I just remember in real time, and that was like the number one play on SportsCenter all year, and I was just like, this is not. He just tackled him.
Whatever happened to the running back?
To what?
To the running back.
For Michigan,
I don't know.
I think he's still there.
I'll throw this one. This
On
one,
the field.
He's still there.
This one hurts, but it is iconic, even though it wasn't a loss. But Devin Hester opening kickoff in the Super Bowl.
So
I mean,
cool.
that's that one. And
so
then I was
happy.
thinking about, I was like trying to do all like the Bears ones. The Mike Brown back-to-back pick sixes to win games.
What was it?
David Montgomery?
What was the game with the Cardinals and the Bears when they had like 21 points off of turnovers?
Yes, yeah.
And one of them was Urlacher just taking the ball out of a guy's hands and running
Yeah,
the
the
other
Bears
direction.
are who we thought they were that game.
Yep.
Yeah,
Who
Monday
we
Night
thought they
Football.
were.
Yeah,
That press conference alone could be an iconic play.
yeah. David Montgomery.
we
to
should
run.
have thought about
Good
that.
call.
That's what you guys should. Mount
Kirk
Rushmore's
Cousins
best
fourth
press
down this
conferences.
year.
Did
Oh,
we do?
yeah, that's
did we
good.
do? I think we might have done that.
Okay, just
We're running out of.
Cordero Patterson's kickoff
That's
return
jerseys.
where the sky cam was on him.
That was
That's
sick.
just fun to
The
watch.
Saints Vikings play.
Oh, Miracle, Minneapolis Miracle.
Oh, that was good
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Shoot,
Saints Rams.
Saints Rams pass interference.
that was crazy.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
What's the best play you've ever had?
Probably Saints is what I get. 4th and 2 is what most people think of when they think of me.
Yeah.
Patrick
a pretty good
Mahomes.
play.
Patrick Mahomes
13 seconds.
incompletion
Oh, the best incompletion that we'll ever see?
in the Super Bowl.
The diving.
Yeah.
That's now in Madden. Yeah. Like, you imagine playing Madden online and someone hits and for the win. You're just like,
Best play that never happened.
Yeah.
Beastquake. That was
He's crazy good one.
Shake.
That's
was
a
great.
fucking
Shit.
great
Big
one.
man.
Damn it.
I thought about that last time, then I forgot. That's super tough.
That's such a miss.
Did he
That's a
grab his
great
dick
one.
when he was going in the end zone
Yeah.
too?
Yeah, he went backwards.
Greg
in the end
Jennings,
zone.
yeah.
Oh, broke my leg. Does that count? Play.
Whole team on his back. Darren Sharp. One of the hottest. in the
Travis
cities.
Kelsey getting power bombed.
That's
a
good.
one.
Do you,
Billy hates Travis Kelce.
I don't hate Travis Kelce.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah.
I
Do you
saw
think
this.
Travis Kelce runs soft?
Well, he led tight ends in Yak last year, so I don't think it's possible to say that he
But
runs
just like
soft.
his mentality when he runs.
No, I don't think he runs soft. No,
We'll get to ask him later.
there are times and places where you can run out of bounds or stay in bounds, and sometimes he decides to go out of bounds. But like he's 32, 33, and maybe that's just what's best for him and the Chiefs is to not pick up 2 more yards and to play the next play.
So you agree he's making a lot of business decisions while running?
Look, Travis literally led the league in Yak, so I can't.
Okay.
He's fantastic at it.
Billy keeps trying to soften it, but he keeps making it worse.
Yeah.
Billy, no, I'll introduce you tonight. You can shake Travis's hand and tell him that he
He's
runs
like, hey,
soft.
you run soft.
Your
When
words,
they
not
make
mine.
me say that in front of him, I'm
Yeah,
just trying to
but-
figure out how to get out of it.
Yeah.
No, I'll bring up. I'll be, hey, Travis, this is Billy. He thinks that you run very soft.
Yeah. It'll be a great moment.
He called you the B word.
Yeah. All right.
word.
Well, good Mount Rushmore, everyone.
I felt good about it.
Yeah. Huh?
I think
you.
I love our picks.
I love our picks.
You guys laugh at the
I
Sean
love- I
Taylor
love
thing. That's going to
everyone's
play.
picks.
Yeah.
No, I mean
Sean Taylor will
it's-
play.
It's a great
Someone should
play.
make a
That
super
is-
cut.
That's like a social media clip.
Well, here's the problem, and we do this to ourselves
pick a
sometimes.
Pro Bowl
With the
play.
fourth
It's a doo-doo.
pick, we try to do something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We try to get, we're not going to do the BuzzFeed list like you guys do.
I picked a Reggie Bush
Not to
lateral.
denigrate. Not to denigrate.
That's true. That's true.
I picked
did.
a Reggie Bush
Yeah,
lateral.
you're right.
Yeah,
Hank
you
did
did.
the BuzzFeed
You did
list.
pick
Yeah,
a
no.
very bad pick on that
Not
one.
to denigrate.
Is Hank a Cowboys, Dodgers, and Yankees fan?
I
Yeah,
did.
you do-
I
do you
was
like the
born in
Lakers?
LA. I was
Duke
born in LA.
basketball?
I don't like the Lakers though.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, George, thank you.
Oh,
That was sick.
Did we get that?
Athlete.
We got that. Okay, we're going to get into our movie review. It's brought to you by Max. Let's talk about Max, the best place to see all the entertainment. We're talking about Max. They have shows and movies from the Food Network, TLC, the DC Universe, Adult Swim, and more. The new Shazam movie, Rick and Morty, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. They're all on Max. And, of course, all the HBO originals like Succession, Winning Time, which I'm very excited for season 2 of that. The Last of Us. They've got something for every mood, and plans start as little as $9.99 a month. Subscription required. Visit Max.com. If you are switching over, it takes 2 seconds. I did it a few weeks ago when Max came online. So go visit Max.com. It has all the entertainment. Also, great kids shows as well. I've been watching a lot of Mecha Elmo builders with my son. So Max.com has everything for everyone. Max, the one to watch. Sign up now at Max.com. Our movie review is brought to you by Max.com. We're reviewing movies, documentaries from Max.com this month. And oh boy, we did a doozy this week, boys. We watched the documentary Jared from Subway Catching a Monster. Oh my God, was that horrific. It was fascinating because I don't know. I'll start here. I don't know about you, PFT, but my knowledge of this case was oh yeah, he got caught with some stuff on his computer and that was it. I had no idea how deep it went. I had no idea how long it had gone on. It obviously centers around this one journalist who Jared had, they were at a middle school doing a speech, and right before it started, he turned to her and whispered and was aren't middle school girls so hot? And then she was like, what the fuck did he say? And basically spent the next 6-7 years being an undercover agent for the FBI trying to get him. The whole thing was crazy. And I also want to say, I don't know if you guys had the same thought, but when I was watching it, thank God Pardon My Take hadn't started yet, because we definitely would have had Jared from Subway on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
We would have. He was doing so much media. I forgot how insane the media hype was for Jared from Subway. He was on everything. Everything. There's in no doubt in my mind, we would have got an email being Jared from Subway is stopping by the office. Do you guys want him? And be like, yeah, sure. So
we've been yes, let's do it. We'll have Max walk back and forth to Subway with you every day for a week, wearing his giant pants, the Super Bowl pants, and then he'll hold them up at the end of the week and show how much weight he lost. Yes. And he's a bad guy, Jared. Really bad guy. I was shocked. How many times do you think he had told somebody that? Because he had just met the woman earlier that day. They sit down at a middle school assembly, and then he leans over and he tells her that he thinks that middle school girls are hot. And she was like, what? How many other people did he tell that didn't do anything about it? So on one hand, the woman that's the focal point of this documentary, she seems like she was like kind of bored, and this gave her like a project to work on, and she wanted to be a spy. And Jared's a fucking idiot for like not realizing that's what she was doing over the course of like 6 years. She was basically asking him to just incriminate himself over and over and over again, while never ever like meeting up with him or following through on any of the stuff that she said she wanted to do with him. Jared's a moron for going along with that. At some point, guys like that, they might want to get caught. They might like, subconsciously know that they're doing something bad and want to get caught. So he kept going along with it. Jared, awful guy. Shockingly, I don't think Jared was the worst person in this documentary, though.
It was the other guy, yeah.
It was his business manager, but even more so than his business manager's wife, I think, is the worst person in this documentary. So his business manager was like helping him procure kids, sending him like child porn, taking him on trips to Thailand and doing God knows what over there. His business manager's wife was selling videos of her own kids naked in her house. What the fuck is going on with that? She was the worst.
Billy.
She was also, if you caught this small soundbite, she was fucking horses on camera, and they found it.
Yeah, it was
like
that's how it all. Like that was the moment that Jared's like life started to go down the path of getting caught. Was the horse fucking. It was, if you had asked me before I watched this, I would have had no idea that all of this happened. Like, it was one of those documentaries that I'm happy I watched, because I like, there was so much stuff that either I had forgotten or just never learned, because he got arrested and everyone, was like, oh, that's fucked up, and made jokes, and like, it was so much deeper than that. It was so much more fucked up. It was a very well done documentary. And we should say her name is Rochelle. Her name is Rochelle Herman. And she basically, like, she's a hero. And even though she wasn't the person who took him down, like, she's a true definition of a hero. It's like she could have easily just done nothing. Instead, she kind of ruined her own life trying to take Jared down.
She basically threatened to release all the tapes that she had of Jared if the FBI didn't do anything about it, because they kind of stopped their investigation. So then she called her local cops. She called the cops on the FBI. She was like, hey, I'd like to report a crime. The FBI isn't doing their job investigating a crime. And so it put pressure on them, and it made them focus on their investigation, try to get some charges pressed. And Jared, I think Jared is going to be out of prison in like 4 or 5 years. I think he's scheduled to be released, because as fucked up as like the stuff that he said that he did was in the conversations, they were only able to prove like the child porn stuff. They weren't able to prove that he did anything, even though he talked about all the other stuff that he had done. They didn't have enough evidence to make that stick. So while I think the wife got like 20, 30 years in prison, something like that, and his business manager also got like 15 or 20 years, Jared's going to be out soon.
It's fucked up. The whole thing was fucked up. It was a very well done documentary. I also want to say shout out to, there was 2 interviews that I loved. It was the FBI agent who did his interview in his car, like he was in a stakeout. Loved that.
And he wasn't looking at the camera.
Yeah, he wasn't looking at the camera. And then there was the Indiana State Police officer who did his interview in like a perfect Indiana steakhouse. And it was just like, I know exactly where he is. He was sitting in the red tablecloths. Like, he was like, he probably got a free lunch out of it. It was those 2 interviews. I was just like, these guys picked this spot.
I also liked the woman's radio co-host down in Florida. His name is Ozzy Osbourne. And he just looked like he had been sitting out in the sun for 50 years.
Yeah, and he did all his interviews from a bar.
Yeah, that's the most Florida guy of all time.
Yes. Anyone else got, I mean, it was like harrowing. Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, no, it was insane. Some of his specific quotes, you mentioned them earlier, they were just wild. Like, they had to flash the warning like every 5 minutes during this documentary, just to let you know that what you're about to hear is insane.
Well, I feel like it was made for TV, but then it was on HBO. That actually threw me off too, because they were doing like dramatic commercial cuts.
I think it was because it was so bad.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then similar to what PFT said, turning in the FBI is going above their head is
Yeah,
crazy. But
you would
it's
love a narc
necessary.
move like that, wouldn't you, Jake?
Yeah, of course. But the fact that she knew this was going on and he was still out there, I think it was like 3 years. Like, that's just crazy that this couldn't have been stopped sooner.
Whole thing was nuts. It really was. But it was a great, very well done documentary. I think it was 3 parts. You can, it's one of those documentaries you can do in one night, and it was definitely worth it.
I was kind of thinking too, because we did the Linsanity documentary, and it's like overnight fame and overnight success, and Jeremy Lin kind of used all that and is doing good with it. And then on the flip side, it's like Jared from Subway was just the worst human being to ever live.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think he was like this before the fame?
Well, I think they said it. They said it in the beginning where it's like your whole life gets based off of if your young interactions, and if you're just getting bullied all the time and no one wants to sit with you and everyone hates you, like you just become.
He never had a childhood.
That's what I didn't like. I didn't like that part about it. How at the beginning they basically set the entire show up to say Jared had absolutely zero human contact when he was in middle school with anybody. Like girls wouldn't sit next to him, almost like they were setting it up for the excuse to be Jared was just like trying to relive the childhood that he never had. It was like pre-excusing it, but there are a lot of people that are nerds in middle school that don't end up doing the shit that Jared does.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, the whole thing was crazy. All right, so that was max.com. Go sign up today. They have just endless amounts of entertainment, everything, all the shows, documentaries. Like I said, kids shows as well. What are we going to watch next week?
One last question, Big Cat. Who do you think is a worse spokesperson for Subway in terms of sales, Jared or Russell Wilson?
Well, Jared did a lot for Subway in sales.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think like the net damage to the brand, probably Russell Wilson.
Dude, I remember I tried out the Subway diet for a while there. It's just like, well, yeah, if it works, just get a Subway. But then I was like getting meatball subs, which are so good.
You have to get. I think he got like the dry turkey, no sauce, no mayonnaise,
and veggie,
and now he's getting a different type of footlong.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Not from a horse.
How many times do you think that's maybe the most tweeted tweet of all time?
It is. It was actually like such a tweeted tweet that I just realized that maybe if you've been on the internet just in the last like 4 years, you haven't really seen it. I think what year did he get arrested?
Like 2015, I think.
That's probably the most commonly tweeted tweet in the year 2015.
Yeah, easily. All right, so go check out max.com. What are we going to do next week? Do we have the list?
I'm trying to find
Hank?
it. I'm trying to find it.
We got to pick a movie. We got to pick
I would do
a
Man on
movie.
Fire again.
Yeah. Let's see.
I got it.
Oh, could we do Cobra?
Yeah.
Cobra's
Cobra, the Heat.
awesome. Sly Stallone. No, remember, the Heat is Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
We could do that. Something lighter. Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy.
I'm up for whatever.
There's a really funny scene in that movie.
Is Cobra better or worse than Bloodsport?
Bloodsport's the best movie of all time, so that's hard. The Heat, not to give away any of the plot or anything, but there's just one really good scene where they're interrogating a witness, and Sandra Bullock's like, throw the phone book at him, and Melissa McCarthy throws an actual phone book at him.
Yeah, so let's lighten it up. I think we put the listeners through enough this week.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, The Heat. All right, we're gonna do The Heat with Melissa McCarthy. It's a legitimately funny movie. I'm sorry. Like, I actually think Bill Burr might be in it.
Yeah, he is.
Let's go.
I think he's in it. Yeah. So we'll do The Heat next week. Everyone watch it on max.com. All right. Let's wrap up the show. By the way, we got some awesome interviews coming from Tight End U. Travis Kelce Monday. Really, really good. Like, I thought we had already met him a million times because he was that cool and like fun to be around. Like with the way he dapped us up, I was like, have we met? But he's just the man.
Billy confronts him.
Yeah, Billy confronts
I'm lucky
him.
to be
Fireworks.
alive. I'm lucky to be alive.
Yeah, so that actually is a good lead-in for my Fyre Fest because Travis Kelce was a great interview. Obviously, the Patriots-Chiefs rivalry, never rooted against them, but it was always like, we got to beat the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. So I never rooted for him, never loved him or Mahomes. But obviously the Patriots aren't as good now. They're the champs. He was great interview, and then after hours, me and Billy it was entertaining clients hours, and he was just funny. He was a funny guy. He had some callbacks to the interview. and I left the bar being like, I love Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
No, dude, the guy moves different. He just moves different.
Okay,
Gotta
so
say.
that's your Fyre Fest? You
My
love
Fyre
Travis
Fest,
Kelce?
yeah. I legitimately was like, he was as good. Not to overhype it, but he was great on it. And afterwards, I was like, Travis Kelce's the fucking man. And I was like, I kind of feel like I kind of always hated Travis Kelce, but now I'm a huge fan of his.
It's like never meet your heroes, but the opposite. Never meet your
Yeah.
enemies. You might end up falling in love.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Okay.
I also lost a pair of headphones, but we were in 3 cities in a week and a half, so.
Yeah, you're fine. PFT.
I had a pretty clean week. I would say my Fyre Fest is also tight end you related. We went to that bar after we were done with all the interviews on I forget the day, Tuesday night. Tuesday night we go out to the bar and it's all tight ends hanging out in this bar. And that's just not a place I need to be standing. It's not. It really isn't. Everybody was 6'4". As a 5'8" and 3/4 man, it is it's emasculating to say the least. So I just found a seat as quickly as I could, and I was like, I need to be sitting down. That way, people aren't like, oh, this guy's short. No, he's sitting down. I told Billy that, which was a mistake.
Yeah.
I said I should not be standing up here. This feels very awkward. And then Billy, about 15 minutes later, proceeds to tweet out like, man, I'm around all these huge guys. Now I know what it's like for PFT to be in any bar.
He just stole it from you.
He used my own joke to insult me.
No, because I felt that way. I was trying to get a beer with Hank at After Hours, and there was a whole line of NFL tight ends.
It's called Afties.
Afties, whatever.
It was like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we weren't out that late. I was trying to get a beer, and like, not to brag, I'm like, I kind of like to think that I'm really good at getting beers at crowded bars. I was at this bar with gigantic tight ends.
That's Billy's specialty. That's the thing that he's the most talented in the world at, is buying a beer.
Getting
At
beers.
crowded beers. So I'm trying to get through these gigantic dudes at the bar, and like no one was giving any way. I couldn't like body anybody to get a beer, and it was like you needed to be Nick Bosa to get a beer at that bar. Hank can attest. Hank got stuck.
The PFT, what didn't help as well is that PFT and I, because we did a ton of interviews on Tuesday. It was one of our longest days that we've had. So we like never went back. So PFT also was wearing a backpack in the bar. And that's always, I was also wearing a backpack, and it sucks. There's no worse feeling than walking into a bar with a backpack and being like, hey guys, what's up?
I looked like a 7th grader. It was bad. It was a bad visual for me, but you have to be self-aware in those scenarios and know when you're not meant to be there. Maybe in a past life I could have pulled it off if I still partied as hard as I used to, but I don't. And so I was just like, you know what? The juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Yeah. There was a lot of big dudes. All right, my Fyre Fest, I did tweet this earlier this week, but my Fyre Fest, so I left Tight End University 6 a.m. on Wednesday when everyone went to do the drills. My son was graduating from being 3 to 4. I don't know why they had a graduation, but they did. And I cried. And I think I'm just I'm the dad that cries now. Like, I shouldn't be crying it from 3 to 4, but I was crying.
You're like Dick Vermeil.
Yeah, it was eye opening. I think I'm just gonna let it be. I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna be anything that like is the passing of time with my kids. I'm just gonna cry, and I'm not gonna care about it.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Also,
that's healthy. It feels good to cry.
Yeah,
Chicks
exactly.
are onto something.
Also, shout out teachers. Just a shout out, because teachers rock. You had 2 great teachers, and I don't know how teachers deal with a bunch of 3-year-olds running around all day. It is probably the hardest job in the world. So shout out teachers.
They party
two
hard.
Awesome ones. Yeah.
That's what teachers do. Also, yeah, I agree with you. Shout out teachers. Love teachers. But they get after it.
Yeah, they need to, because it's a lot. And he had 2 really, really good ones. So I cried. And then I also cried a little bit on Wednesday night, but that was because I ate some mushrooms and John Mayer was fucking going off at Dead & Co. But that was more like a tears of joy kind of thing. So really emotional day for me on Wednesday.
Yeah.
All the highs and lows.
You were like Noshawn Moreno listening to the national anthem, or Nick Sirianni when you listen to John Mayer play guitar on mushrooms.
Dude.
Hell yeah. One time I was in Hong Kong when I did the MDMA with Donnie at the rugby sevens tournament. and I cried just because Carlin Isles was so fast that he made me cry. It was beautiful.
Shit will happen. Remember the time when I cried in Nashville when we got so high going to the Super Bowl and everyone went out to dinner and I was too high to go out to dinner because I got down to the lobby and Larry the bus driver was like, "Where are we going out to dinner?" And I was like, "I can't deal with this." So I went back upstairs and I was watching a college basketball game. I was watching like Syracuse versus Duke playing like the 50s. And then I flipped over to the Warriors and they were making every shot and I cried a little because I was like, this is fucking beautiful. So it's okay. Moral of the story is it's okay to cry if it's about your kids or sports or John Mayer being a fucking beast at the guitar. PFT, you would have second set. He threw out his back in the intermission. He did the entire second set from an office chair and was just like shredding, just like nothing had happened. It was a flu game.
Guitar is sports. It really is. I'll put my hand up. I was a John Mayer hater as recently as probably like 8 years ago, because I never actually really listened to him. I was just like, oh, this guy can't be that good at guitar. Because as you're growing up, you're learning how to play. You learn from all the greats, and you listen to like classic rock, that type of shit. It just does not compute in your head that a modern popular musician can be that talented to be on the same level as some of the all-time greats. John Mayer fucks.
He's so good, dude. He is so goddamn good. I mean, he made me cry. He's that good. He made me cry. Might have been the mushrooms, but he still made me cry.
Yep.
Those were for John Mayer, those tears. But yeah, full second set in an office chair. What a beast. Okay. Billy.
I want to put my cue collar on for this one.
Okay.
So I don't hurt my brain talking about this.
Okay.
But
we need cue collars when you talk.
I know. Everyone should
all the
invest in cue
AWLs
collar.
put your cue collars on now.
Billy's about to speak.
I barked up the wrong tree. I was feeling myself at Tight End University. I was doing some drills. Check out PMTV next Thursday. It's going to have all of it in it. It's actually really awesome. And I challenged Will Compton to one-on-ones, and I got the clamps put on me. I tried to run a couple fades on him and failed. And, looking back, the best man won. He just plays next level defense, and I couldn't get it over.
But Billy, the throws were late.
Shut up, Hank.
Nope. I'm not going to
Stop
comment.
it.
I could have made a play. Look, you're never going to get a perfect situation. I could have made a play, and I didn't make the play. One thing I will say is that if you watch the tape, like Will Compton just throws, like he played my hands perfectly on the one rep, and I couldn't come down with it.
Hank, I recall you saying probably, 300 times during football season, if you can touch it, you can catch it. Pray tell, where did that second pass hit Billy on that beautiful goal line fade that I threw?
No, I could make a play on the ball, and I couldn't come down with it.
I was just repeating what Billy said right after.
Well, yeah, right after Billy initially.
No,
the funniest part of the clip
is that we're trying to be adults. We're trying to be rational.
So Billy saying pussy was that's a power move. That
ball's
was good.
In the air,
that's how you get a clip.
I thought I had it.
Right before Billy reaches out to catch it, he goes pussy, and then Will just hits it out of his hands.
So Billy, Will is the best. He obviously makes fun of himself a lot. He did play in the NFL.
I know, but
he's a better athlete than you by leaps and bounds.
I know, but in my brain,
11.
I don't fault my brain for giving me the gift
confidence,
of being way too overconfident and thinking that I'm just being delusional. It's gotten me a lot of places. It makes me fail a lot, but you know what? I got to test myself, and my brain's just testing my body all the time.
This is like when we have the argument every year, could Alabama beat so-and-so team? And you're like, well, that team is full of draft picks, and they all play in the NFL. So they're all very, 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 very good. Even if they're not, even though the 53rd man on the roster, they're still better than a lot of guys.
So could Williams beat Nebraska in football? Maybe if they called the linebackers on Nebraska for pass interference. Maybe.
If Scott Frost was coaching, he'd find a way to lose.
In 2022, Williams was one of the only undefeated teams in the NCAA. So
are they in the NCAA?
Yeah, technically.
Okay, nice.
It was also great to see Gronk run around out there. That was my other last note from tight end U was he was, just running around there like a player, and it's good to see.
So Gronk out. I don't want to report anything, but Rob Gronkowski was in the front row paying extra close attention to the coaching that they were doing at Tight End University. He was actually participating in the drills, listening very intently. I don't make of that what you will, but he was trying to get better at playing tight end. For what reason that might be, I don't know.
He was also, by the way, I have to say, Greg Olson, I was in there. Greg Olson is an amazing coach. He's
an amazing guy. Yeah.
He's an amazing guy, but just seeing him coach what he knows up front, he's amazing in the booth, but that guy, he's amazing in the booth, but he should be coaching. I'm just saying.
I just triggered. I had one other Fyre Fest real quick. Greg Olson, we interviewed him. That will come out in the next couple of weeks. I mean, he's all-time, he's been a stoolie for 12 years. He's been on the show a bunch. He's a legitimate friend. So I met his son, and we were joking around. I think his son's maybe around 10 or 11. And I was like, so, Greg, you got him? Are you getting him into Barstool yet? And Greg's like, he's not there yet. I was like, what do you mean? He's not guessing that ass? And then everyone was like, what did you just say, dude?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, that was probably too much. Kelsey actually heard that and just walked away. So, whoops. That was my mistake. I mean, the joke landed. Greg laughed.
Yeah. It's a good
So
joke.
that counts. Yeah.
It's a good joke.
All right, Jake.
Oh, one other note from Tight End University, and I guess we'll probably see this on PMTV. Josh Allen saw Max.
Yeah.
And had a reaction to seeing Max. And
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
I'm not going to spoil it.
PMT Thursday.
Yeah, find out what Josh's reaction to seeing Max was.
Ooh.
Wow, I'm the only one that doesn't know this. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Oh, it's good.
I'll have to tune in on Thursday.
It's good.
It's good. It's good. Jake, finish us off.
Yeah, so last week I was on Long Island playing golf with my cousin, and we had a rainstorm, lightning, thunder after the 5th hole, so we had to leave. Went back to his house, ended up taking his twin daughters to a roller skating drop-off birthday party, and he walked in, dropped them off. I was sitting in the car. He texted me 5 minutes later. It wasn't a drop-off.
Oh.
I was stuck at a roller skating rink for 2 hours after thinking I'd be playing golf an hour before.
Wait, did he leave you in the car like a dog?
No.
Oh, you came into the party?
Yeah, I walked in.
Okay.
Did you roller skate? Blades?
No, I didn't.
Wait, so you only played 5? You only played 5 holes?
5 holes, and then ended up at a roller skating rink for 2 hours.
What hole was the fake hole-in-one plan for?
I think it was 7.
Okay, so that's
we didn't get
extra insult to injury.
Any cake?
I know. Damn. Almost. There was cake. Yeah, I stayed away.
You didn't eat the cake?
No, I wasn't supposed to be there.
So what'd you end up doing? Did you just sit at a table the entire time?
I just stood up to the side.
Jake,
were you standing?
I think Jake roller skated.
Wait, Jake, were you standing or sitting?
At least you played an arcade game.
Yeah, you stand off to the side and look at the arcade games.
Did you play any?
No. I just played on my phone.
For 2 hours? Man. What kind of battery you got on that thing? I mean, you were just on the course a second ago. Probably didn't have a full charge.
Yeah, I made it work.
That's hilarious, Jake.
Yeah,
I think he roller skated, Jake.
I think he roller skated.
Yeah.
I think he roller skated.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Memes is there.
The
Let's go, Memes. Memes also just texted me, I took a couple of your Zins. I will pay you back. What are you gonna pay me 50 cents?
You're gonna have a new 10 on your desk.
I don't need one. You're good, Memes. You're good by me.
I've thought of doing that so many times. I can't believe you actually took your Zins.
You're good by me, Memes. You're good, bro. Memes, have you ever gotten this?
No.
Numbers.
69.
18.
I thought you didn't care about 69 anymore, Billy.
21.
No, well, now that I got this Q color on, all this blood's in my brain, and I'm operating on a different level. I might start rocking this all the time. You guys are in for a world of trouble.
Yeah, it's the cock ring for your head. I'll go with 8.
Yeah.
20.
Hank, what'd you guess?
21.
I'll go 17.
I go with 1.
Meme 0 gotten it.
No. Way too loud.
Oh,
92.
Mets 92.
There we go.
Victor Wembantonio.
5th time.
All right, yeah, Monday, Travis Kelce, and we will be back together as a group on Tuesday and Thursday this week. So Mount Rushmore season will continue to be contentious, and we'll see everyone on Monday.
Love you guys.
Will Compton needs to give me another rep.